wide world of sports is going on here.
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters, back from my Christmas break there, a day later than anticipated, but back nonetheless. Big thank you to Sean Smalls and Tanner for holding down the fort here over the holiday break while I was gone, especially the extra day yesterday, as I got stuck in Dallas for a day longer because, well, you've heard the news, all the flight cancellations and all that. Some of it due to weather, but most of it due to the Omicron and flight crews not having enough staffing and all that. But they canceled my flight, and I'll tell the whole story here this hour. I got plenty of time to talk all about my my vacation and everything, so we'll do all that. But a day later here, but big thank you to Sean and Tanner, doing an awesome job keeping things going here. Allowed me to get out of town for a few days. It was nice. Had a great trip overall, and I got to see family and everything. Especially nice fact that it's been a few years since been able to travel. Just really overall, I mean, COVID, everything else, but it's been 3 years really since I had a chance to see family and folks and all that good stuff. So it was a great trip overall. But I'll talk all about this hour and give you the skinny and on everything, the fun parts and the not so fun parts and all that good stuff. But that'll be this hour. Next hour, I'm going to replay an interview Sean had yesterday with Lori Schatz, Schatz Productions, Kiwanis Club, talking about the big John Denver show that's going to be happening. Ted Vigil will be here in February. And so I'm going to play that interview for you in the 8 o'clock hour. And then Crystal Noble with the Roswell Humane Society. She's going to join us one more time in 2021. Give us an update on pets available for adoption at the Humane Society right now, and anything going on over at the thrift store as well, too. So that'll happen about 9:15 or so this morning. And, of course, we'll do all of our features and all that good stuff. Being the holiday week, things a little slower. I did notice when I got back yesterday, last night sitting, I was like, all right, because there's nothing on TV, with New Year's week. It's reruns or stuff that you didn't want to see in the first place. They just throw up there. But I was like, well, this will be some recordings, and so I went to my DVR, and I'm like, let's see, what would I miss? And nothing. I missed one thing, the Sunday episode of Yellowstone, which I watched last night, fully caught up. 1883, but that's more on my Paramount. I'm going to go check that out at my leisure, which I haven't had a chance to watch yet. But, so didn't miss much there. But, had a great trip. Like I said, we'll talk all about that this hour of the show here. I got some rest now. I didn't get much the days leading up to it there. But yesterday, I finally got some rest and after traveling and everything else, and feeling good, feeling refreshed here. So hope everyone had a great, wonderful Christmas break here and are continuing to do so for those enjoying the time off here. Of course, we got New Year's tomorrow. Weather's going to be a little chilly and rainy. Not so much chilly tomorrow, but like Saturday, actual New Year's Day and New Year's day night. That night, Saturday night, boy howdy. They even use the term blustery Saturday night. So I'll get you up to date on the weather and all of that here in just a few. But I guess count our blessings. I get depending on how you look at it. I guess they're getting more snow and things up north and all that good stuff, and more of that on the way. And I guess they've had a couple storm systems. It's funny. I went back when we went back to Maryland and Virginia area. Christmas Day, I was at my aunt's, or day after Christmas actually. But we were sitting there on the water, and I was literally sitting on the porch. It got like in the 70s, I think, at one point there. It was really nice. And then it got cold again, I think, Monday for a little bit. But, it was unseasonably warm even back east for the Christmas holiday, too. So, but like I said, I'll talk all about that here in just a bit. Of course, we got the final days of the Pocorn tournament. Is the holiday tournament, I don't know if that wrapped up yesterday, or is I got one more day, too. I've been kind of out of touch on some of this stuff, but is that done today, too? Okay, of course, we'll have all those games for you online video. Watch it at ksvptv.com in the Pocorn channels and all that stuff, and, of course, get on out to those games and support the teams and all of that, too. It's Pocorn, it's arguably, my opinion, one of the best basketball tournaments in the state. I mean, it is. That's not just my opinion. It's a lot of other people's opinions, too. But definitely one that love to go out, go support, and be a part of. But it's a good one. So we'll have the final day of action for all you there on ksvptv.com for folks to check that out. And then, of course, I think tomorrow's going to be pretty. We'll be doing a show tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow, and regular show for us. But a lot of other people will be short side things on the brain, not work related. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. But definitely, and then of course we're having regular shows. I'm back, so we're finishing out this week, and I'll be back. Normal schedule next week and everything else too. So all good there. But Sean is taking the day off today. I think he's got some family in town. I believe his family went out to Ruidoso, I think. Or they're here, I'm not sure, but he's got family in town, so he's going to spend the day enjoying time with family and having fun and all that good stuff. So he is much deserved break on that one while I come in and try to figure out what's left to do or what needs to be done and all that good stuff. So it is 7:13. Let's go ahead and take a look at that weather and enjoy today. Got some rain coming, which I'll never complain about that. Even the chances of rain look pretty good here. Amounts, I don't know. That's not so impressive, but, we'll see. It's rain. Never take it or never turn it away or poo-poo at that. So 7:13, here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind today ahead of a low-pressure system that's moving our way. We will have sunshine, our afternoon high in the low to mid-60s. For tonight, maybe an isolated shower or two and lows near 40, and then scattered showers and a few afternoon thunderstorms coming up tomorrow. Highs near 60, maybe a few lingering showers New Year's Day. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, right at freezing, 32 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%. Winds at the moment out of the northeast at 6 miles per hour. For today, expect sunny skies. Highs, pleasant, 62 today. Winds, not too bad, but a little breezy. 5 to 10 this morning. They're saying 10 to 15 for this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Warm overnight as well. Overnight low of 40 expected. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For your Friday, New Year's Eve, we are looking at a 50% chance at showers. Mostly cloudy for the day. Still remaining warm. Highs, once again, right near 60 degrees. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 in the morning, picking up 10 to 15 for the afternoon. But they're saying our precipitation less than a tenth of an inch. So, I'm like, 50%, but less than a tenth. I'm like, So, good chance it'll come, just not a whole lot of it. For Friday night, your New Year's Eve evening, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms before you ring in the new year. Mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 39 with southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Your New Year's Day on Saturday will be cooler and possibly wet as well. They're saying we're looking at a 30% chance of some rain pretty much in the AM and in the afternoon. They say mostly sunny for the day, but highs only expect to hit 48, and winds are going to be up out of the southwest 20 to 25 miles per hour. Could see some wind gusts as high as 35 miles per hour again on New Year's Day. The evening, New Year's Saturday night, overnight, it's going to be just not pleasant. They're saying mostly clear, but blustery with an overnight low of 18. So, yeah, it's going to be chilly Saturday night. Sunday, back up into the 50s under sunny skies. Another chilly one Sunday night, overnight low of 20 under clear skies. And then looks like next week we'll start the work week and school and everything for everybody in the upper 50s, 57 on Monday of next week, then back up into the upper 60s Tuesday, 68, and then 69 on Wednesday. So, but a little bit of chill there, New Year's Day and New Year's evening there for sure. So, bundle up. It's been a bit hit or miss for me. I was tumbling around a coat all day, and not once I never needed it. Kind of wish I would have packed it, but if I didn't, I would have needed it. That's how it works. Anyway, all right, it is 7:16. Let's go ahead and take about a 3.5 minute break here, and then I'll be back on the other side, and we'll chit-chat all about my trip and all that good stuff. So that's coming up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Happy New Year, everybody.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. Name to remember.
There are so many holiday greetings that we would like to share with you, so here are just a few. We hope you all will rejoice and reflect on your blessings. Celebrate the reason for the season with peace in your heart. May your days be filled with love and festivity, and may your holidays sparkle with joy and laughter, but easy on the sparkle. From everyone at Central Valley Electric Cooperative, your hometown co-op, have yourself a Merry Little Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Get ready to put 2021 in the rear view. The City of Roswell presents Rockin' Roswell 2022. Usher in the new year with hors d'oeuvres, a cash bar, and music by DJ Cool Arrow. Then at midnight, get ready for the glitter and gold balloon drop with up to $500 in cash prizes. Tickets are just $20 a person and $30 a couple and are available now at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center on North Main. Call 575-624-6860 to find out more. Rockin' Roswell 2022, Friday, December 31st, 9 p.m. at the Convention Center.
What does it mean to be a world-class university? To start, being ranked in the top 2% of universities in the world, and to be the only designated R1 highest research activity university in the state. It's about creating the most opportunities for students. And at the University of New Mexico, we do just that by offering affordable, top-tier education year after year and awarding millions in scholarships to our students. So, what are you waiting for? Apply to UNM at apply.unm.edu.
What does paying $10 a month for health insurance sound like? Yeah, kind of like that. Open enrollment is on now, and you may be able to get health insurance for $10 a month. And as New Mexico's health insurance marketplace, BeWellNM makes finding health insurance and signing up easy and affordable. And our services are free. Call us at 1-833-862-3935 or visit BeWellNM.com to get the assistance you need and to get insured. Because you just never know.
This time of year, we all become kids again, especially when we start thinking about Christmases past, how they smelled, how they looked, and how they felt. We get a little weepy remembering those uncles and aunts and parents and grandparents who made Christmas time so special and gave us the traditions we passed down to our own kids. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Shirley and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, that mess in the living room on Christmas morning is the most glorious mess in the world. Don't be too quick to clean it up.
Some of us have already been thinking about it. Some of us are dreading it. Few of us are good at it. It's those three little words that come around this time every year. If you're thinking of New Year's resolutions, you'd be correct. However, let me put a different spin on things for the 2022 year. Instead of starting new things, let's stop some things. Sounds good, right? Well, this new year, let's stop not spending more time with our family. Let's stop not being good neighbors with those around us. Let's stop not being kind. Here's a good one. Let's stop not going to church this new year. Let's stop not reading our Bible as much. And let's stop not praying as much. Well, you get it, right? Maybe some things need to change. What do you need to stop doing this new year? Come join us this year at the Country Club Road Church. We'll be looking forward.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:21, and I'm back a day later, but back nonetheless from my trip back east to see family. And I got back yesterday, midday-ish, everything, and then I was exhausted. I came home and kind of got everything back in order and cleaned up a couple things, and really didn't do a whole lot after that, just kind of rested. But overall, trip was great. Had an awesome time with family, and I got to spend time with, of course, my brother and sister-in-law and my two nephews. We stayed there with them, and then, of course, got to see my sisters and my stepmom, at least a few times, 3-4 times, events throughout the thing. Went down to the southern Maryland to spend the afternoon with my aunt and cousins and things, so some from that family. So I kind of got, they're all connected in some way, but with my mom and then my dad and stepdad, and of course my father's passed, my mother's passed. So basically I stayed with my brother and that side, and then of course my sisters, and so that's kind of tied with dad, sort of. And then when I go see my aunt and stuff, that's my mom's sister. That's the Dar family, which my sisters aren't necessarily related to or anything. So that's a kind of another sect of the family through there, even though it's the same side, weirdly enough. But anyway.
There's a good explanation of it.
Yeah, probably not.
I saw this side of my family, and I saw this side of my family.
Clear as mud, but yes. But just to get you kind of an idea there. So, but I had a great time. Traveling, no problems. Got on a plane, got there, everything worked as advertised. No problems flying out. Everything worked as advertised, landed there.
Did you have good layover? It wasn't too long or too short?
No, it was enough time to get, because really I fly from Roswell to Dallas, and then Dallas to Ronald Reagan. And we had an hour and some change there, enough time to get on the little tram, because you always land in the E terminal when you fly American Eagle in from Roswell, and that's pretty much, I think, most of their commuter and those smaller airlines, those things like that. And then some of the more larger flights, you got to go to the BEC or AD or one of the other terminals at DFW. So you always land in E, and then you got to get on the train and go to your B or C. Or I think I had to go to B terminal to go back on to DC. Which
they move you across no matter what.
Yeah,
for the most part. I don't think I've ever done like a flight where we got off and then it was like the gate was right next to us.
No, that never happens.
It's like, no, you get off your flight and then you have to go all the way across the airport to get to your next flight.
I've had, like, years ago, not recently, but like years ago, I've had that where I was going, from major place to major place. And so like one time I landed and this is when I was in the military, and I flew out of El Paso, and then they sent me from El Paso to Dallas, and then Dallas to Atlanta. So like from that Dallas, and
those
then when
flights are weird.
Yeah, and but like that one,
I don't even think they're any cheaper either.
Yeah,
like I've seen how they connect stuff. It's like, well, you fly here, and then you get to your destination. It's like, well, why can't I just fly here and then here maybe? Like I'm fine with just two.
I'm sure it makes sense on that end because they've got a lot of they're juggling a lot of balls and things, and I got to see some more of that, even more so this trip coming back.
It's so messy.
Where it got interesting. But yeah. But anyway, now that was the only time. That one time years ago, I landed in Atlanta, but I came in from Dallas, so I was leaving out. I think at that time I maybe only had to walk like 4 or 5 gates down from where I was. I didn't have to hop on something and travel halfway around the airport to get to the next gate there.
At least they've got somewhat fast transportation.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Otherwise, you're running across.
If you're paying attention, that's just it. Some people don't pay attention, and then they get on trains that ain't going to where they're going, and they got to. I will say this: if you think humanity's okay, go to the airport. You'll see how we're not. We're so doomed. People are so dumb. But anyway,
well, like I said, I just like I like decent layover times because then. I don't like how they schedule some flights like that, where it's like, I'm sorry, you only have 10 minutes to get there. And I'm like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
You're going to put me all the way across the airport. I'm not getting there in 10 minutes.
Oh, I've had that happen.
There's
where
no way.
I've landed on a plane and they're like, hey, you Mike, yeah, you got to go. Let's go right now. I've had that happen to me once or twice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, where they hold a flight for you because they know it's coming in and because it's a lot more expensive for them to put you up for a night and all that, which I had to do coming back.
I was going to say.
Yeah. So coming back, and I'll talk about the in-between here in a bit. I'm just in travel mode, so I'll hit them all here. So coming back, I looked Sunday night. I was, because we're going to fly out Tuesday morning. And Tuesday morning, like we were supposed to leave at like 9 something out of Reagan. And I think we're supposed to be back here 1:30, 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. That
sounds nice.
That was kind of the plan. So Sunday night, I'm on my little phone on my app here, and I'm like, oh, let me get on the thing here. I look and on the American Airlines app there, and all of a sudden I'm looking at the thing, and I said, hey, Kim, we're leaving at 6 a.m. Tuesday. She goes, what do you mean? No, it says 9 o'clock. I'm showing you right here. She showed me the itinerary. I said, I know. I'm looking at the app, and we're booked on this flight that leaves at 6 a.m. Sure enough, she's looking, and she calls, confirms, and yeah, our flight got pushed up from 9 to 6 without. And if I had just happened to not look on the app Sunday night, we would have never known. So yeah, that could have been.
They should have notified you.
Yeah, you think, but
Oh, you have an app, right?
I have an app.
You got to make sure that those push notifications are enabled.
Well, yeah. Well, they are now.
I was going to say if that's not on, sometimes it won't pop up, and I don't know. My notifications are finicky for everything.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I've got notifications that stick and stay and won't go away.
Right.
Or they'll just disappear and it'll be like I never saw them. And I don't like how finicky that is. It's like just. Can you be consistent? Like, just pick what you want here.
That would be asking too much. I'm sorry. Can't do that.
You mean my super smartphone can't do things? Please.
But fortunately, I caught it, and so we arrived. So we got up Tuesday morning at 3 a.m. East Coast time, which would have been 1 a.m. here time. To make sure we're at the airport in time so that, at 6 a.m. we're on a plane and, because we're leaving out national. So we, make sure you got time to go through the TSA and all that good stuff. So we did that. We got to the airport at, I think we got up at 3.
I was going to say, how long has it been since you've flown?
Prior to this weekend, it's been, pre-COVID, so at least 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So yeah.
You weren't in the era before the shoes were taken off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was.
Or I'm saying you were, but I'm saying, like, it hasn't been that long.
No.
Like, it's been a while for me, but I remember when they initiated that, where it's like you have to take your shoes off now. That was weird.
Yeah.
Like, you basically have to strip down for TSA now.
It wasn't too bad. I just the only thing I had to take off was my shoes. And then you go in that little machine, and you got to assume that pose with the arms up and your feet spread, and then they wave that thing around you and send you through. And no time did they want to do extra checking on me, so I was good.
I think the machine's quick. I just don't know why you got to take your shoes off for the machine not to see it.
I guess they can't penetrate whatever's in shoes. I have no idea.
It's the rubber.
I'm sure it's something that's probably, not even.
And same with belts.
Yeah, I think it's just something at this point to say, all right, let's make you feel like you're doing something. I don't know. But anyway, maybe it looks better through an X-ray than it does on your feet. I have no idea.
So you had a very early morning.
So
got through.
We got that on that flight, and we went through, and then of course got on the plane at 6 and flew to Dallas like clockwork, no problem. And then as we land in Dallas there, and they, that when the flight attendant gives you that announcement, you're now free to turn your cell phones on. So I pop mine up, and sure enough, as soon as I get out of airplane mode, get a notification from American, your flight's been canceled from Dallas to Roswell.
Did they say why?
They didn't, but I can guess. I mean, there's I don't know if you've seen the news here, but hundreds of flights are being canceled each day because of crew. Lack of crew because of Omicron. They don't have enough, people are testing positive, so they don't have enough crew to fly these flights, so they're canceling the flight.
That makes sense.
Some of it's weather, but that wasn't our problem. We had no weather
most
issues.
of the time, it's weather.
Yeah. But when you turn on the news and when they start each news program saying, once again, another day of hundreds of flights canceled across it's because of Omicron.
Well, no, me and Sean were sitting here, and I actually looked up, and I thought we'd see you. I thought that'd be funny if, Fox found you, and we happened to see you on Fox News.
Sitting on the airport.
Yeah, you just
Let's
sitting there.
interview this guy. He is stuck.
It's like Mike Winters on Fox News.
Yeah, no. In all fairness, I got treated well. American did me right.
I figured you're not complaining about it.
I mean, I would have liked to have been home and everything, but
yeah. All
things considering, we didn't have it so bad. Don't cry for me. I did all right. So we get to Dallas and we find out the flight's canceled. So. I get, all right, well, let's go head on over to customer service and see what we can do. So we walked over there, and they're like, well, no more flights today. At first she says, we can get you out Thursday today. And I'm like, Thursday? No. Really? And she's like, oh, wait, there's a flight tomorrow, which would have been yesterday.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, that's it? And it's like, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, I'm working on 2 hours sleep, and then I'm hearing there's, no rental cars. And I'm like, all right. Let's do this then. And so I was like, well, where did we stay? And she goes, we'll put you up in a hotel. I was like, okay. And so they say, all right, we're going to, and so she booked us for 2 seats on the flight yesterday. And we didn't have seat assignments or whatever. She goes, yeah, got you 2. She goes, can't give you numbers or anything. And then she gave us vouchers to stay at a Fairfield Inn, then gave us meal vouchers on top of that. So from there, we got our stuff. And that's just it. Whatever our carry-on stuff, our luggage, went on. I guess there was another.
I heard that luggage was in limbo.
Well, yeah, they said because Kim was
that's
like, well,
always scary.
Well, what about our luggage? She goes, well, it's probably going to go on the night flight and be there. I can pull a request, but it may be 2 hours, more likely 6 hours.
They're just going to stick it on a shelf?
No. They, I guess there was another Roswell to Dallas flight Monday or Tuesday evening, but it was so full that they couldn't put us on it. But they put our luggage on it.
That's called overbooking.
They do that all the time.
That's a problem, though.
That's
a horrible problem.
That's standard operating procedure for all industry.
You can
airline
fix this.
They overbook everybody and put you on standby and all that.
Once it's full, you shouldn't be able to buy the ticket.
So that flight was full, so they couldn't put Kim or I on it. But I guess there was room for our luggage. So our luggage went on the Tuesday night flight. We got on the Wednesday morning flight. So we didn't have a change of clothes on. So I basically wore the same clothes from Tuesday to yesterday through yesterday when I got home.
Yeah, that's not fun, especially when you're traveling like that.
But I did. They gave us a free toothbrush and toothpaste, so I got that. I did walk up and get some deodorant and So when I wasn't out, I'm pretty much down. Kim and I stripped down to our drawers in our hotel room just to keep the clothes kind of fresh. You got to put them on.
Yeah. Well, not to mention, since you're traveling, you're probably exposing yourself to a lot of different bacteria and stuff.
Yeah,
that would be my only concern.
Of course, I've been shot up 3 times and all that. Yeah. I wasn't too worried about that stuff. I could lick walls at this point and be not catching nothing. But anyway, so we So we stayed the night at Fairfield there. They gave us a meal voucher, and there was a nice restaurant right next door to our hotel that accepted the vouchers. It was like I can't remember the name, like Oak Creek Tavern or Oak Creek Inn or something Creek Inn. I don't know, something. It was good. Food was good. I mean, I had basically Kim and I got a 12-ounce ribeye and I got my green chili fix back in Texas because on the menu they had green chili and cheese grits and some green chili queso. Kim got queso. I got the grits with mine and green.
Do you think it's imported from here?
I hope so. I hope they ain't getting that old Colorado chili. They don't know about that. So I'd like to think it came from
Nuevo Mexico. It tastes good then.
Yeah, it tasted good. But I didn't ask. But and then of course Kim got you. But anyway, with the meal vouchers and all that, I basically Kim and I got steak dinners for like $20. It was really nice. So that was kind of. I was like, all right, at least got that. We tried to meet up with a friend who lives in the Dallas area, but she was actually Aspen Creek Grill. Thank you. That was the name of that place.
Thank you.
My wife told me that. But they got family in Sweetwater and they were traveling back and stuff, so we really didn't get to do all that. But so we had nice dinner and all that. Got some rest a little bit there, and then woke up. We were supposed to fly at like 10 o'clock yesterday. I got up and said I want to be at the airport at like 7:30. I want to make sure. Because if I'm getting bumped off this, I'm getting on a car. I'm not going to stay another day in Dallas. I mean, Kim and I were talking
were we going to drive then?
If I didn't get on that plane, I was going to figure something out.
Yeah.
Like Kim and I were even thinking about going over to U-Haul and renting like a pickup if need be, and just drive a U-Haul pickup back to get back to New Mexico.
Hey, it's something.
Yeah. I heard that's actually cheaper. Is what someone gave us a tip. And it was like, "Hey, go! It's cheaper." And,
yeah, but you have to drive. That's.
Well, I mean, if it's cheaper than renting a car. Like if you went over to a car place and rented a car, it's actually cheaper to go get a pickup truck from U-Haul and just drive it.
I'm sure it has something to do with the. Maybe it's just because it's a pickup. I don't know.
Well,
you would think the pickup would be more expensive. Maybe
I don't know. But I don't know all the logic there. But that's
at least
what
with renting a car, you don't have to get insurance if you don't want to. Yeah. You can use your own insurance. So I don't know how their fees go.
I guess because they're moving vehicles. I don't know. People don't rent them for
that's weird.
The purposes. But someone said they're cheaper, and I was like, well, I'll look into that if need be. Fortunately, I never had to get to that because we got to the airport. Mm-hmm. And they had seats for us, and we got on the plane and got home, and we were back here noonish time, back in New Mexico here. So I went home and got cleaned up.
Yeah,
and
got
everything taken care of. Here I sit. So had a good time overall. So it was good. And despite it taking an extra day, and I'll say this, like I said, American treat us right. Put us up in a hotel. I had a good steak dinner.
I was going to say it could be way worse.
All things considered,
yes,
we did okay. We were fine. It wasn't the only part was like wanting to be home when you wanted to get home, and I had to wear the same clothes for a day or so, a day or two a couple days.
They just shouldn't, overbook flights on top of overbooking the flights.
Well, and this one was all because of the cruise. It was if one tested
just assume
positive,
that people were going to come and then just we can't.
No. I think the crews were testing positive, the pilots and things, and they don't have enough staff members to man all the flights.
So they just assumed that they were going to test negative, and then.
Well, I think what it is, you got to go to work and they test you. And these people are probably asymptomatic, and they test and say, "Oh, you're testing positive. You're turn around, go home. You're not going to fly today." And so I imagine they're getting a lot of that going on, and so there's not enough people to fill in the flights, and so they're canceling all these flights. And it was really bad, like over that weekend, and it was still like even today. I think they're still having issues. I heard a couple people like one guy when we were waiting for our plane to get onto Roswell yesterday. Some guy come over to one of the things. He's like, all right, I've been trying to get over to so-and-so for the last 2 days now. Where's customer service? I was like, oh, man. This guy was stuck. He was getting ready to be stuck for his third day in a row or something. I'm like, yeah, Kim and I, we lucked out pretty good compared to some other folks here. It's a mess. And I'll say this, too, before I take a break and get into my trip. You want to see how sad humanity is? Sit in an airport and just watch people. We're so dumb, humanity. It is so like, and parents. I get I get kids are loud and rowdy and but man, like I saw one family. They had one child. The child was maybe 2-3 years old, toddler age, and they had more things for this kid to get on a plane. I was like, are you kidding me? Like they were toting this kid around in a wagon with like 4 backpacks full of
I think they
stuff.
have child wagons though.
I get all that,
airport.
but you need no. This was like a home wagon with. I mean, they literally had to pack an entire room of stuff to get this kid. I'm like, is all this necessary? And of course, they need to get on first and all that. The kid's screaming their head off, and they're trying to pull things out of this wagon to make the kid shut up. And I'm like, maybe you just should be parents a little bit and discipline the kid. And say, hey, this is what you got. Be here. You don't need to appease them with every little thing on the trip. Put them in a wagon and do all. I mean, it was just. I was like, my goodness, you were just slowing down the entire process because you.
Where are you going to put all this crap?
Well, and that's the other thing. They're like, this people are dragging 37 things, and then one person's got a bag that's slightly bigger. Like, oh, sorry, you got to pack that. I was like, what about that guy who's got 800 pounds of stuff? For their kid that's 2 feet tall.
I think what they do is that when they pull up to the actual, when they go through the tunnel, whatever the tunnel, I don't know what that's called, goes through the tunnel, and then they check it in on the right, with the wheelchairs and stuff.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Well, and this was, I don't know, it was,
because there's no way you're putting half of that crap in those bins.
And I just look and shake my head. It's just people are, and I get people trying to get out of paying money. I understand that because they charge you a lot of money for extra stuff.
Oh yeah,
and
because weight
and I get
makes
that
the plane do different things.
I know what happens every time. These people get their big tote bags and they're like, "All right, I don't need to trek luggage because I got this carry-on." And it's like, they're not going to let you on the plane. But the move is, and this is maybe the move, is you don't pay for. See the move if you carry this check on, and this is probably what they're doing. And I got to give them props because if it's a way to get around the system. That it's a good move because if your bag's too big and you know it's too big and you just walk through there like it's carrying on, they're going to say, "Oh, that's too big. We'll check it for you for free." So you just got out of paying $30 or whatever it is to check out in that bag the proper way because they're just gonna and I get it. The airlines can't do any different because now we're gonna check it. We're gonna charge you $30. Talk about raising Cain up in an airline. That's gonna do it. But it's a slicky move.
That's a risky move. I don't know if I'd do it.
Well, I think that's the move.
I'd want it to be small enough that it fit.
Yeah. Well, that's me. I just want to. Here's $30 in my suitcase. I got a bag that I can slide right under the seat, and I'm done with you. I don't need all that other stuff.
I think the only nitpick I have, not the only nitpick, but one of the nitpicks that I have about flying is that they don't board the plane right.
No. Well,
that would probably solve some of the issues. Well, because you don't want to wait for somebody in front of you to put their luggage up. If they just boarded the plane from back to front,
that's a money
and then unboarded the plane from front to back, that's so much more efficient than let's just put everybody in at random.
Absolutely, but that's a money-making adventure for the airlines too.
Well, you can if you want first class and you really want to board so badly, first class can board because they have room.
Yeah.
They actually have room. But for everybody else that's packed in there like sardines, it should be boarded from back to front.
Well, the move they do, and it's to get more money, is what they say is, you're grouping in group 8. Would you like to bump up to a more priority group for $40 more? And people are saying, yeah, that's what I'll do.
But that's not efficient.
So guys in the back of the plane or in the very front of the plane are going to get on first because they paid $40 to. So if you're willing to pay, you're a VIP. You throw money at everything, they'll let you right through. And then most people see that and get mad. And then they get
that, though, doesn't mean that,
that's
you're
the standard.
Still going to be standing there. Somebody's still going to be waiting for you to put your stuff up.
I'm not saying it's a good idea.
People have to scoot past you and bump into you as you go by, and that doesn't have to happen. You want to pay $40 for that?
Well,
you want to pay $40 for an uncomfortable experience?
You get to, in essence, you're paying $40 to sit in the chair ahead of everybody else. That's what you're paying.
Okay, well, you can sit in the back.
Well, I can maybe see Southwest or something where you don't have assigned seats, and you're like, dude, I got to get to the front. I got to prioritize and pay up and all that. But the other airlines generally assign you a seat. You're going to sit wherever they sit you.
That's fine, sort of.
So to me, it doesn't matter when I get on it because I got a seat waiting for me. I don't care.
I just think that some of that, some of the timing issues come from that, though.
People are crazy. And it's the airlines are going to take your money because you're crazy. That's what's going on. Because people get up there like...
Well, it makes you crazy.
Well, because people overthink and they say, well, I got to have my kids. We better pay the $40.
You can have your kids, just... Let's just load the plane right. Let's load the plane in a way that everybody can get in smoothly.
Yeah.
And the people in the front don't have to wait for the people in the back to figure out their stuff. Everybody goes to the back. They put their carry-ons in. And it's in order. Everybody can take their time, babysit their kids, and it just be efficient.
But parents think they need to move an entire child's possessions of property when they ever take them anywhere is part of the problem, too.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to tote up every toy that the child owns, every mobile transportation device the child owns. Yes,
have the child pick 3 things.
Yeah, parents are the problem.
Well, some of them shouldn't be parents.
And that's
some of them.
That's another debate for another day. Accident. But yeah, 7:46. Let me do this because I'm just going to rant about airplanes the whole time. Let me pause for news, quick break, and all that, and then I'll talk a little bit about the fun part of my trip, seeing time with family and all that good stuff. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The New Mexico Department of Health announced Wednesday it plans to adopt new federal guidance surrounding isolation and quarantine for COVID-19. The state is currently updating its contact tracing protocols and other key processes and will announce a more specific implementation timeline very soon. However, the new guidelines involve shortening the quarantine time to 5 days for people who have been exposed to COVID, but those people are also strongly urged to wear a face mask in public at all times for an additional 5 days after their quarantine. The Roswell Police Department is thanking Church on the Move for its recent donation to RPD. The donation was in the amount of $5,000. In a prepared statement, RPD says it very much appreciates the support and generosity of Church on the Move for the $5,000 donation. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Today, a question for all parents. Should the kids be taught to say please and thank you when dealing with Amazon's Alexa? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. Amazon says its Alexa-powered Echo Home Assistant was among the company's best sellers this past Christmas. I've heard from parents asking me if their kids should be polite when asking questions and interacting with the internet-connected gadget. Now, both Amazon's Alexa and Google Assistant will be polite. If you're nice to it, you get nice back. Use the word please, and they'll say thank you. Say thank you, and you might hear you're welcome. And I'm all for polite children. If this helps teach the kids manners, go ahead. Tell them to say thank you to their smart speaker. But consider this. Many parents with a smart speaker are upset that their children's first words aren't mama or dada. It's now Alexa. And to me, that's just so incredibly sad. Get breaking tech news at Commando.com. If you have ever wanted to make your home feel safer, there's no better time than now. This week, my friends at Simply Safe are giving my listeners 40% off their award-winning home security. I love Simply Safe because it has everything you need to make your home safe. Indoor and outdoor cameras, comprehensive sensors, all monitored around the clock by trained professionals who send help the instant you need it. Simply Safe was even named Best Home Security System of 2021 by U.S. News & World Report. You can easily customize the system for your home online in minutes. These are Simply Safe's biggest discounts of the year. Get a complete home security system starting just over $100 with no long-term contracts or commitments. Take advantage of Simply Safe's early holiday deals and get 40% off your new home security system by visiting simplysafekim.com. Again, that's simplysafekim.com for 40% off your system. simplysafekim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind today ahead of a low-pressure system that's moving our way. We will have sunshine, our afternoon high in the low to mid-60s. For tonight, maybe an isolated shower or two and lows near 40, and then scattered showers and a few afternoon thunderstorms coming up tomorrow. Highs near 60, maybe a few lingering showers New Year's Day. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. It's into the championship game of the Goddard Girls Basketball Tournament for the host Goddard Rockets. They are 7-5 now on the season after defeating Bloomfield yesterday in the semifinals, 53-35. So Goddard takes on Santa Fe, which is 6-5 at 1:30 today for the championship. Meanwhile, in the girls bracket, Roswell came away with a victory, thumping Lovington 50-11 yesterday. Roswell plays Albuquerque Academy today at 10:30. Now in the boys Poke Horn tournament, it's Goddard against Roswell, but it'll be for third place. Goddard fell to Carlsbad yesterday 65-46, and Roswell lost to Lovington 71-65. They play today at 2 o'clock. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Hundreds of flights are still being canceled. It's been that way for several days now, as the Omicron variant has become one big headache for travelers and for the airlines. Infections are rising among pilots and flight attendants. According to the data from the flight tracking website FlightAware, 832 flights were canceled by midday Wednesday. There were nearly 1,300 cancellations for flights entering, leaving, or inside the United States on Tuesday, and about 1,500 Monday. Belgian authorities have allowed for the reopening of cinemas, theaters, and concert halls. The decision Wednesday handed a victory to the culture sector, which said it was being unfairly targeted by the COVID rules. Authorities are trying to keep the pandemic at bay, while many citizens are frustrated by limits on their personal freedoms. On Wall Street, the Dow up 90 points. The Nasdaq lost 15, and the S&P 500 rose 7 points. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Gear up for 2022 at Big O's year-end sale. Head to Big O for our best deals on tires, brakes, oil changes, and more. From December 11th through the 31st, save on Michelin or BF Goodrich at your neighborhood Big O store and get a reward card of up to $120 with paid installation. No resolutions here, just giant deals to get your car ready for the new year. Head to your local Big O and get a reward card of up to $120 when you buy Michelin or BF Goodrich tires with paid installation. But hurry, you only have a few days left to save. Go big at Big O during our incredible year-end sale. December 11th through the 31st. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Void where prohibited. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer. Upgraded installation packages available at additional costs. See store for details.
Ring in the new year with Greyhound Basketball. The Greyhound men's and women's basketball teams are home Thursday, January 6, 5, and 7:30 p.m. versus Oklahoma Christian, and Saturday, January 8th at 2 and 4 p.m. versus Arkansas Fort Smith. Don't miss out on every dunk, fast break, and three-pointer as the Greyhounds welcome in the new year. Tickets are only $5 for adults. Kids 8 and under are free. Eastern New Mexico University Basketball. All in.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Procrastinators Club of America newsletter is called Last Month's Newsletter. Their first newsletter should be released any day now. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. Closing on 7:55. I was talking about my trip back east during the holidays here. And most of it was talk about the airplane stuff to and fro, but the stuff in between was amazing. Great. Had an awesome time visiting with family, getting to see my nephews and seeing my sisters and seeing how much older they get and how much older I feel. My brother's two sons, my nephews, Lou and Nate, they're in third and first grade right now in school, and they're doing great. My brother's got them in. He keeps them busy. They're playing hockey. They're doing taekwondo. They're doing great, and they need it though. They're smart kids. They're very smart kids, but man, they are a bundle of energy, and they need that. They need that structure to kind of keep them in bay, and they got it going on. They're boys.
At least they're busy.
They're busy. And then my sisters, of course, we've had them on the radio before, and of course my Liz, she's in high school now. She's a sophomore, I think. And then Callie's in 7th grade, and they're both taller than I am. Not that that's saying much. I'm 5'8", but I think my brother's shrinking. Like my brother, I think he's 5'9" or 5'10". I don't know. When I stood next to him a lot over the Christmas, I think we're the same height. I don't know.
Well, who had the bigger shoes?
Oh, he does. I think he's got it.
And that means you're taller.
Oh, he's got bigger. Does that mean I'm taller because he's got bigger shoes?
Well, if he's got bigger shoes, that gives him more height.
But he was taller. He's always been tall. But I think he's shrinking. Because
that means you're taller.
Or I'm getting taller, and I don't think that's happening. I haven't noticed my pants, getting high waters.
Y'all should have both taken your shoes off.
Yeah, I didn't care that much because I don't want to feel bad if he's shrinking. Make him feel bad, but got to give him something, But anyway, I am the older brother. But anyway, my sisters, they're both. And of course, my stepmom is tall. Like my father, he's not my biological father, but is my brother's. But he was like 6'1", 6'2". Their stepmother, my stepmother, she's like 5'10", 5'11", so which is very tall for a female. So they got the genes to be taller than me anyway. My mom was like 4'11", maybe 5 foot in some heels or something, but I never saw her in those. But anyway, so I got that gene in me, and then the Dar family, my mom's side, there, and that was funny. Like when I was telling you about visiting my aunt, we did that the day after Christmas. We went down to the Southern Maryland, the water where she lives, and there, when I visit the Dar family, I feel like a man just towering over everybody because my aunt, she's 5'something, 5'2",
putting your
5'1".
hand on top of everybody's heads.
My cousins are shorter. They're my uncle, he's taller than me, my aunt's wife, but that's about it. And Chris, and of course my Uncle Jim was there too. He's like 5'7", 5'6". So I'm walking around this place like, yeah, look at this. I'm taking over everybody here. And so when I go back to visit them, I feel tall.
That's fun.
My cousins are all like my height. They're shorter. So yeah, I feel pretty good about all that. But yeah, we had a good time seeing family and lots of Christmas gifts. Saw a couple movies, saw a couple things I normally wouldn't watch. I ended up seeing Hamilton on Disney Plus.
I haven't seen that, but I know it's
I ended up
interesting.
sitting because weirdly enough, my two nephews love it. Like you wouldn't think two young boys, a third and first grader respectively, would be into a musical about Alexander Hamilton. But they were singing along, they've seen it already. My brother, they all seen it, and they like, you haven't seen it? I was like,
oh, it's a good musical.
So we went and watched it. Yeah, it's entertaining. It's very good. It's good. I hate musicals, so it's not my thing.
But did you at least like the history
I
part of it?
appreciated the story. Yeah, the story was very good.
Okay.
It was very good and everything. I just don't.
Did you feel they took liberties, or was it more accurate?
Well, it's a musical. I mean, I think the history's accurate. The history's shortened, is what I mean by that. They're presenting, an entire life in a 2.5 hours here. So there's going to be details missed, you know what I mean? And so that happens. But as far as who begat this and what happened and all that's what happened, you know, and the story behind it. And that's pretty good. I love you kind of learn a little bit more about it. I got to go. But we'll talk a little bit more about that on the other side. But, pretty good. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. More evidence the U.S. economy continues to recover from the darkest days of the coronavirus pandemic. Fewer than 200,000 Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week. The Labor Department says applications dropped by 8,000, falling to 198,000. Winter weather continuing to make a mess of travel across parts of the West, dealing with snow that's measured in feet, as well as bitterly cold temperatures. Correspondent Jennifer King.
More snow and rain fell in California, causing disruptions on mountain roads. Nevada's governor is declaring a state of emergency after record snowfall in the Lake Tahoe area. Interstate 80 over Donner Pass reopened early Wednesday, with chains required after being closed since Sunday. Officials in Oregon declared a state of emergency and opened warming stations. The same thing happened in Kings County, Washington, where people used to Seattle's drizzly weather sought refuge in shelters that city officials say will stay open through the new year.
And it's not over yet. Winter weather advisories posted for some Oregon cities east of the Cascades.
They have winter storm warnings out for snow, upwards, approaching a foot in some places, but most of the lowlands probably close to half a foot or so.
The National Weather Service meteorologist Miles Higa. The weather, as well as COVID-related staffing issues, prompting airlines to cancel hundreds of flights again today. Immigration advocates accusing the Biden administration of failing to honor a promise to help Afghans left behind after the U.S. military withdrew from the country and the Taliban took over. Since the U.S. withdrawal, federal immigration officials say they have received more than 35,000 applications for humanitarian parole, of which they have denied about 470 and approved fewer than 150. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 99 points, the Nasdaq ahead 48, the S&P up 8 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
So I invested in one of those fancy new exercise bikes. Without a doubt, a very special tool to help me get healthier. The problem is 3 days go by, then 4, and I've done nothing. And then it's night 5, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, and I look down at myself, and I can't help but just laugh. Because there I am, wearing the exercise t-shirt that came with the bike, and I'm eating 2 corn dogs. I think we'd all agree the special tool only matters if we use it to our benefit. At United Faith Mortgage, we believe we have an advantageous tool for you. Our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions. There's no middleman. And often, this allows us to get you a better rate on your refinance or new home purchase, which can save you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Pro-democracy protests have been escalating and have turned deadly in the aftermath of a military coup in Sudan. The BBC's Mary Harper.
The authorities did what they could to stop the protests, including severing phone and internet lines and installing new surveillance cameras on major routes. Soldiers, police and paramilitary units were deployed, but people came out regardless. They managed to get close to the presidential palace, despite bridges linking central Khartoum with residential areas being blocked with shipping containers. The opposition says nearly 50 people have been killed and hundreds injured in a series of protests held since the coup. The demonstrators are demanding that the military plays no role in government during a transition to democratic elections.
Iran announcing the launch of a rocket that Tehran says is carrying several satellites into space. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Publix grocery store chain planning to offer paid parental leave to employees who are new parents.
The Florida-based company says eligible full-time and part-time workers will be able to take off the time during the first year of the birth or adoption of a child, starting with the new year. The privately held employee-owned company has 225,000 workers at almost 1,300 stores in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. Publix hasn't offered details on how much paid time off new parents would get.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. President Biden and Russian President Putin due to talk later today, with the Ukraine situation expected to top the agenda as Russia has massed an estimated 100,000 troops on its border with Ukraine. That's something that Mr. Biden says he raised with Putin during a video call they had earlier this month. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. And I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. I hit the button.
The dude.
There it is.
The dude.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody.
The deuce.
Yes. Deuce of the week.
I don't know.
Yeah, welcome to the eve of New Year's Eve, everybody.
I can stop saying it now, right?
Yeah, I think you're covered it.
Okay.
You covered. You took care of the Sean's duty for today. Thank you. By saying deuce. We got one more to do next hour. But,
yes.
I'm back in the chair, obviously, and I've been talking about the trip. I will say this. We got a couple things while I'm talking here, and because we got an interview we're going to play a little later, but I got a little time to chit-chat. One of the things that I did not have a problem with was I ate so much food. As did a lot of people. It's the holidays. We all overeat. Yeah. But I'm not sure if I've told this on the air before or not. I think I have. It's been a while. But my brother, my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, Dana, she's Italian. Like her family Italian. Like she's not like from Italy Italian, but I mean original. I mean like her family, but she's not from off the boat Italy. She is a U.S. citizen born in the United States and everything. But her family's Italian heritage.
Yeah.
They got she grew up in New York, Long Island area. She's got a bunch of family lives Jersey, New York City. That's kind of like her brother. But
I'm sure they've got accents up there.
Oh yeah, it's that. Little New York, little Long Island, a little bit of forget about it, little all that going on.
I'm sure you coming up refresh them.
Well, here's the thing: is and years ago,
I don't think you have an accent though.
No, I mean,
not too much.
Some words you'll hit my Maryland accent a little bit because Maryland's got its own accent.
Well, no, I just know that some people come down here and then they just develop a twang.
Yeah,
and I don't know where that comes from. It just happens.
I think they brought that with them, some of those folks. But
some of them.
But so years ago, this was back when they were married. My brother, but this was early. Maybe been married a couple years or something. But one Christmas we went back to visit, and we got a chance to go to New Jersey to go stay, and we all did like Christmas post Christmas. I don't remember what it was. We did like a holiday time with her family up there. We all went, and that time and first time I met a bunch of her family. I met them since, and they're all good people. But
just didn't know it first.
Well, I just no, not the fact they're good people. I'd never met them before,
right.
So it was kind of
you got to be wary either way.
Culture shock because you go into an Italian family household and it's very loud. Everybody's screaming. Everybody's talk. Everybody just talks and they
what are you
conglomerate.
doing?
Yeah, and it's all loud. And they're not mad. That's just how they talk, It's just, hey. And they like to bust each other's chops. And, Ma, you gonna cook the fabajou? You messed up the fabajou. Yeah. And that's how they talk, And it's like, all right. So we're sitting there, and it's like sitting in an episode of Sopranos while you're sitting there. And I'm just waiting for a forget about it to be thrown out there. That's kind of going over there. But the food, oh my goodness, they just like courses of food, and like here's some scallops, and here's some linguine with clams, and here's some chicken parm, here's some, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Let's state for the record, not all Italians, but
but
the
that
stereotype comes from somewhere.
Well, I mean, they're an Italian family. That's what they do, And so she cooks like that still to this day, and I swear,
it's wonderful.
Like when we got there, she spent the first 2 days doing nothing but cooking, like literally not. Like she was making, like pizzas. She made like that's a tradition. She makes these pizzas. So you just graze on pizzas for like 3 days. So she makes like 4, 5, 6, 7 pizzas. I don't know how many it is. It's a ton of them. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Then she's got like 37 desserts, like some fruit ring cake that's like a family tradition.
It makes you never want to eat Italian again.
Well, it's good, but it's just so much of it. But these are things that she grew up with, and she likes to incorporate that into her Christmas. And so it's beautiful.
I can't this is what I'm not really like super into cooking.
Yeah.
I can't imagine going to get the ingredients for all this stuff.
Oh, they got
when you cook like constantly and make all these huge dishes for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start with that.
She was on point. I was like, you don't have to do all, but she does in her head. And like she made, and I don't know, there's like a tradition she makes with these that are very complicated to make. It's some kind of like fried dough balls that they put with this honey, and you mix, and it's a dessert sweet thing.
That sounds good.
It is good. I don't know what it's called. It's some Italian word that I can't say.
The honey ball.
Yeah, but that's part of the tradition. I mean, and then
honey ballino.
And then my brother's like, well, my mom always makes chocolate chip cookies. You better make some chocolate. So she's got to make the chocolate chip cookies. And
that's so much fun.
And then the Christmas she made like a quiche just to have in the morning that day. And
quiche is good.
And then
it doesn't sound like the word sounds weird.
Well, it's egg and meat.
But when you think about it, it's
veggies and things. Yeah.
Well, I think more of a casserole when I think of quiche. It's a different word.
I'm not a big quiche fan because the egg is a little weird when you bake egg. Anytime you bake egg,
it does sound weird, doesn't it?
Like when you cook an egg in an oven, like bake it, it's always a bit of a weird mouthfeel for me. But it was good. It was tasty. And then she made for dinner she did prime rib roast, and Brussels sprouts and stuffed mushrooms and mashed taters, and my wife did the green beans. She made the green. She goes, well, I'll take over the green beans, and she made green beans. But it was so, and I think it was supposed to be asparagus. It just never made it. There was so much food. But New Year's or Christmas Eve, normally they do a tradition where they do the Christmas Eve dinner. It comes in courses and all this. That we didn't mess with. They actually went to an Italian restaurant called Maggiano's. And we all got reservations, and we did a family-style deal. And, again, ate 80 pounds of food and had delicious let's see, what were the courses there? The only one that was kind of disappointing was the veal parm. They kind of overcooked that. But the chicken marsala was on point. The clams and linguine, delicious. The kid stuff, like the fried cheese sticks and things they got for the kids, I ate that, too, because that's what I do. And it was delicious. Actually, those fried cheese sticks they had were
I was going to say, is that in your blood too?
Italian?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I think like if you do they did the 23andMe, and there's like a 12% that's like Italian, German, and something else in there. I don't know, Greek or something.
One of the 23 is Italian.
I'm mostly Irish. I'm Irish and English.
Okay.
That's my lineage. It was just so much seafood and so we constantly ate, and then leftovers aplenty, and then we go down to my aunt's house and she's cooked a roast and that the one thing that I love there, because they live on the water and it's constant crabs and all that. She had some crabs left. So she made crab dip, and I darn near ate the whole crock pot full of crab dip by myself because I only get that very rarely. And she knew that. And she said, I made it for Michael. She's one of the two people left on the planet that calls me Michael. My Aunt Lori. My mom did. She calls me Michael. Nobody else calls me Michael. It just isn't,
Mike shorter.
Well, that's what most people call me. Mike.
Michael's a little more personal.
Yeah, your family, your mother. If if you have a nickname and full name, they like for instance, Nate and Lou, my two nephews.
Uh-huh.
Everyone calls them Nate and Lou, except for like Mom. She's like, Nathaniel, get in here. Louis, come here.
Nathaniello. It's like, that's a long name.
Yeah, and but anyway, and actually, getting back to the kids liking the Hamilton thing. My brother and my sister-in-law, they met in college. They went to the SUNY Maritime Academy in the Bronx, New York. That's where they went to school. It's like the Merchant Marine Academy, but it was the state of New York's version.
Uh-huh.
And so the college and everything's under Schuyler and Fort Schuyler. Schuyler is Hamilton, the wife of Hamilton, all the Schuyler family. That's all that. So and matter of fact, Nate, I think it's Nate. His middle name's Schuyler, and that's so it's all named after that. So they have a kind of a family connection with the Hamilton. So I think my brother and them
why
played
they like it.
But
it's just it's familiar.
Well, I think that connection, but the fact that they sat through all the singing, and now granted, Hamilton's not like other musicals. It's got rap, and so it's more modernized. It's not like operatic or anything like some other.
It's a modern musical.
Yeah, so I think that helps with the kids. Although I was surprised. There's some language in that. Like you're thinking, it's Disney, but some of the themes and things they say in there, I'm like, whoa, cover your eyes or close your ears, man. That was not kid appropriate there.
This is you would think that Disney is like pure and perfect. No.
Well, it's a Hamilton, but
no.
And it's part of the story. I mean, there is a part where Alexander Hamilton cheated, and that's where they're talking about. So
well, there you go.
But
Thanks,
anyway,
Disney.
But it was a great trip. I had an amazing time. The family was great. Everything just went well. Just that little last day of turmoil there, but I had amazing experiences with family. I didn't get to go to the Caps game. It got canceled. We were supposed to go to a hockey game Monday, but they canceled it Sunday night. They canceled all the NHL games before I left up to the 26th, and then we found out Sunday that they canceled the 27th, the day we were supposed to go.
I guess
Monday.
they're just not risking it, huh?
Yeah. Of course, it's all. I mean, NFL keeps playing. I kind of wish they would have canceled that Dallas-Washington game. Washington was embarrassing. Washington's just embarrassing. Dallas, y'all deserve that. We were embarrassing. From every facet of the game, from showing up to the stadium to leaving that night, was embarrassing for the Washington football.
Do you know what they're called now? I don't know.
Still Washington football team. They're supposed to come up early 2022 with a new name.
I thought about the Washington whatevers.
Well, there's like a list of 8 or 9 they're down. They boiled it down to. Like Red Wolves is one. Like Admirals or Defenders, I think, is one.
The Washingtons or the Washington Hamiltons.
The Monuments.
The Washington Monuments would be funny.
I don't think that's one, but I mean, there's a slew. There's like 8 different names that we're boiling down to, but whatever they are, they're embarrassing right now. So
I am sorry for that.
And it's not all COVID
that
either. It's just embarrassing. They're fighting on the sidelines. Dan Snyder's bringing heated benches to an indoor stadium just because Dallas did it a week. I mean, it's just dumbness. It's just like, this is so stupid. You deserve to get smoked on national TV because you're an embarrassment right now. Anyway. Another thing, another time. Let's do this. It's 8:18. I'm going to get you up to date with weather. We're going to play an interview Sean had with Lori Schatz yesterday talking about the big John Denver concert, Ted Vigil. He's going to be performing and doing a charity show for the Kiwanis Club of Roswell and the Roswell Community Little Theater in February. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few. But before we do that, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind today ahead of a low-pressure system that's moving our way. We will have sunshine, our afternoon high in the low to mid-60s. For tonight, maybe an isolated shower or two and lows near 40, and then scattered showers and a few afternoon thunderstorms coming up tomorrow. Highs near 60, maybe a few lingering showers New Year's Day. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 33 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 49%. Winds are, in fact, calm at the moment. Today, expect sunny skies, highs near 62, although it's a little overcast at the moment. Winds will be out of the northwest today, 5 to 10 miles per hour this morning. Shift into the southwest, picking up 10 to 15 this afternoon. Tonight, not too bad temperature-wise, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 40. Southwest winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, things start to change for your New Year's Eve. We are looking at a 50% chance at rain showers tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Highs once again right around 60. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour, picking up 10 to 15 later in the day. They're only saying they're expecting less than a tenth of an inch of rain tomorrow. So, yes, good chance of rain, but doesn't sound like a whole lot of it coming. But I'll take what we'll get, Maybe they'll be wrong, give us a little more than that. Friday night, as you're ringing in the new year, there is a 30% chance of showers, mainly before 11, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 39, southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Going to be chilly and some chance of showers to bring in day one of 2022. We're looking at a 30% chance of rain on Saturday, mainly early before 11, but could see some for the afternoon. Mostly sunny otherwise, highs only expected to reach 48. Winds will be breezy. They're saying southwest winds 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour on New Year's Day, which brings in a frigid, actually the term they use is blustery, Saturday night. Mostly clear, overnight low of 18 and blustery. Sunny on Sunday, highs near 51. Mostly clear Sunday night, overnight low of 20. And then when everyone heads back to work and school on Monday next week, expect sunny skies, highs right around 57 degrees. So that's what we're looking at weather here for the next couple days. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, Sean's interview yesterday with Lori Schatz of Schatz Productions and Kiwanis Club of Roswell, talking about the John Denver Tribute Show happening February 19th. At the Roswell Community Little Theater, big fundraising event for the Community Little Theater and the Kiwanis Club of Roswell. We're going to play that interview for you next. Don't go away.
What does it mean to be a world-class university? To start, being ranked in the top 2% of universities in the world, and to be the only designated R1 highest research activity university in the state. It's about creating the most opportunities for students. And at the University of New Mexico, we do just that by offering affordable, top-tier education year after year and awarding millions in scholarships to our students. So, what are you waiting for? Apply to UNM at apply.unm.edu.
The most wonderful sale of the century is on now at Roswell Nissan. Prices slashed across the lot, 0 down and no payments for 90 days. Get a 2017 Sentra for just $219 a month, a 2013 Civic for just $199 a month, or a 2011 Hyundai Tucson for just $169 a month. And play Lucky Lotto to win cash and prizes. Just watch your mailbox and bring in your mailer for the chance to win up to $25,000 cash. The most wonderful sale of the century on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Some of us have already been thinking about it. Some of us are dreading it. Few of us are good at it. It's those three little words that come around this time every year. If you're thinking of New Year's resolutions, you'd be correct. However, let me put a different spin on things for the 2022 year. Instead of starting new things, let's stop some things. Sounds good, right? Well, this new year, let's stop not spending more time with our family. Let's stop not being good neighbors with those around us. Let's stop not being kind. Here's a good one. Let's stop not going to church this new year. Let's stop not reading our Bible as much. And let's stop not praying as much. Well, you get it, right? Maybe some things need to change. What do you need to stop doing this new year? Come join us this year at the Country Club Road Church. We'll be looking forward.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Movie trailers were originally shown after the movie, which is why they're called trailers. Mike thought they named them after the mobile home. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 14 minutes after 9 o'clock on your Wednesday morning. Joining us in studio is Lori Schatz. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing real good. I say it every time to Mike that we need to have entrance music for you when you come on. Well, because there's a built-in song for you.
There is? What song is that?
Lil Jon, and it's Lil Jon, the East Side Boys, and I can't remember who else, but shots, 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 shots.
Hey, I like it.
So I think, we should have entrance music for you every time you come in.
Gene helped me get my slogan for my business cards because he wanted to say Sure Shots. So it's Best Shots Productions, where we provide sure shows, or I can't remember exactly how it goes. But anyway, on the back of my business card, which I did not bring with me, and I told him, I said, this is O to you, because you never want to say best shots, you want to say sure shots. So I put it on the back of the business card.
I like that.
So now you guys have come up with my intro music. So I love it. Keep going. I don't have to be creative at all.
Yeah, we're building your entire brand. Basically.
You are. It's great.
There you go. We do require a cut on the back end, but as long as that's understood. Nothing was signed though. It's all verbal contract.
Because my real name is Loretta, and so I remember in junior high I had a physics teacher that was like, "Get back, Loretta," and he goes, "You know what that's from, do you?" And I'm like, "No," and it was. Now I do because I know the song,
right.
But at the time I did not know what that was from.
But you're a busy young lady. I mean, moving back and forth between your Kiwanis hat, your Best Shots Productions. You have a lot of irons in the fire.
Yep, I try to stay busy. My passion, of course, is in the entertainment field, which I have done for 40 years. Whether it's owning my own company, I've owned the Chicago Stunt Team and the Windy City Two Steppers when I lived in Chicago.
Wow.
Or Best Shots Productions that I started in Indiana and brought with me here. It's been a little dormant the last few years, or running a performing arts center or petting zoo, all that kind of stuff. And now, I have a real job, 9 to 5, and that's interesting. I worked more hours before and more days, but it didn't feel that way
because it's a passion project. Because there are
times it wasn't, but yes, for the most part,
what's the old saying? Love what you do and you never work a day in your life, which is bullcrap because you absolutely do. You're still going to have bad days.
Right.
They're just not going to be as bad.
And now I am very lucky to be working for a law firm here in town that I absolutely love. So, and that's a whole nother group and beast on its own.
Sure.
Right. And I get to bring some of my skills to the table when it comes to events for team building. And that's exciting because they've never had, as far as I know, they've never had that aspect of an office manager.
Right.
So I have a lot of things in the air, and then half of them I don't talk about because they only really apply to maybe 12 people, and they're not open events. But I'm super thrilled to be working in Roswell and being part of the community.
When you work in a law office, I mean, I got to imagine you're working with a bunch of suits, a lot of dressed down men and young ladies that they don't necessarily like to let their hair down and have fun during the work hours. But you're kind of that glimmer of let's throw a little party in the office.
I'm hoping that's what I am. I'm also in charge of all the legal secretaries and paralegals, and so that's where it really comes out. I mean, they have a lot of stress in their lives as well, and I'm real lucky to work with many of them that just plow through and get her done. And then when it's time to have a paint class or have a talk about nutrition, we do all kinds of things. We're doing White Elephant on Thursday when we get back.
Okay.
Bring something you don't really want and take what you really need, and whatever is left, I'm taking it over to the Salvation Army. So
nice. Here's a fun fact for you. I just learned this yesterday. You know why we call that White Elephant gifts?
No, I do not.
So basically, it stems from I can't remember if it's like the 15 or 1600s. They used to give if you had someone that was like a hassle to you in your life, you would give them. They would give rich people would give other folks a rare albino elephant. because they're sacred, so they're like a religious symbol, but they're incredibly hard to care for. So basically, you gave somebody this thing. It's like, here's your entire life. You basically gave them an above ground.
So
pool.
their focus became that, and not being a pain in the dupa to you.
So it became a thing that is not necessarily valuable to you, but could be valuable to someone else,
right?
If given the right amount of care and things like that. So yeah, that's where
poor
we get
white elephant.
I know they get such a bad rap. But so yeah, lots of irons in the fire, and obviously you are. We're all gearing up for the show coming up in February, which seems like so long away, but it's just a month and a half.
Right, exactly, because you have all these holidays, like you're saying, back to back, and even if you, in my brain, let's add Thanksgiving, because that isn't so far off either, right? So you have Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and then it's the letdown. Yep. Not only the letdown, but you don't have a lot of money. There's
Bills
not a lot going on. Yep. And it's dark, and it's still winter. So we're real happy to bring a tribute to John Denver to the Roswell Little Theater. And I want to make sure, which I have not said in the past, of course, my phone died. And I don't know if you have it in your brain, but their address.
The address for the Roswell community.
Isn't it 1717
South Union? Yes.
So they want to make sure that people know that.
Mm-hmm.
And
you
can
Plains
either
Park Shopping Center.
Or across the street from Dollar Store.
Yes.
Because my last concert, I forgot my makeup and I had to go to the Dollar Store.
Always handy.
Or you can either get online and go to Roswell Community Little Theater with an R-E, which is Old English.
It's actually roswelltheater.com, I believe, or
.org.
.org.
Yes, and you can get online and do it. We have VIP tickets for $40 or regular reservations for $30, or you can call me at 575-513-8119. I can't tell you how many reservations yesterday, maybe 15.
Really?
So the phones are starting to ring, and the only place I've really advertised is Facebook and here. Mm-hmm. So, if you want tickets, I am hoping that Mike put the curse on us correctly when he said, I believe it's going to be sold out.
This is going to be I believe that this is, knock on wood, I believe this is going to be a sellout performance. I mean, and we'll talk about the story here in just a moment, but this is, it really is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Mm-hmm. Because, John Denver, obviously he's such an iconic artist, and has such an impact on this area, being from, having spent time in Roswell and southeastern New Mexico, there's an added, impact to this area. Right. And this guy, Ted Vigil, I mean, he's phenomenal in both, absorbing the character traits, the mannerisms, but also, the voice. It's absolutely phenomenal.
I know you're talking about it this morning, and I know when I first contracted him and was talking to the agent, and then they sent me the PR pack, and I'm like, this is him or this is John Denver? Right. Like, am I allowed to use this image? Because
you're like, we have to credit Getty Images, obviously, for the picture of John Denver.
So they're like, no, that's him. That's actually Ted. So you can use it, and he's giving you the right to use it because you've signed the contract to bring him here. And I was just like, okay. But yeah, I totally agree with you. He looks exactly. It's uncanny. Mm-hmm.
It really, really is. So let's talk for a second about Ted Vigil, because he stumbled into the performance of John Denver.
Correct.
He didn't go into music thinking, I'm gonna do a John Denver thing. It just sort of happened, right?
Right. Yeah. He was going to be part of a talent competition, and he showed up, and everyone said, "Oh my gosh, are you going to sing John Denver?" And he wasn't going to.
Right.
And then he went and learned a John Denver song and came in and sang it and won the whole competition. Then went to nationals and won that as well. And ever since then became the John Denver tribute artist. And it's because of the way he sounds, but it's also because of the way he looks. He's like you have said, the whole package. And for our performance, he can do this with a trio. He can do it with an orchestra. He can do it with just a band. But for us, it's going to be him and an acoustic guitar. And he has a slideshow behind him of John Denver's life, which will include parts of him living here in Roswell.
Awesome.
And his dad used to be part of an NMI, and then became his private pilot for his private plane, and that's where his love for flying came from.
That's such a trip. I mean, because his father wasn't necessarily, behind him at the beginning.
No,
Dad, I'm gonna be a singer. The heck you are.
Right, exactly. Yeah, his dad was not supportive at all.
But he came around.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he came around and then probably was his biggest fan. Obviously, that's why he was flying him around the country to his concerts. So Ted knows all those stories. And just like we did Simon and Garfunkel, and that couple knew stories about Simon and Garfunkel, had actually met them and had met people that the songs were written about. This gentleman is the same way. He's done his research and is pretty close to the estate of John Denver.
I'd imagine you'd have to if you're anachronism. If you're trying to lean into someone's life, you kind of have to.
Right. I mean, because you're going to be asked those questions. And I mean, I produced a Patsy Cline show, and every time I did, there was at least one person that came out and looked at Patsy and said, "I'm so glad you made it through the plane crash." And I'm like, okay, that's not really her. She actually did die in the plane crash. And that's the same way, I'm sure, with the tribute. I mean, what was different about the last one was it was a husband and wife.
Sure.
So, Simon and Garfunkel are still alive. But a lot of tributes, they're done to those that are not with us anymore.
Right.
So, so it's great. I mean, to me, that would be the biggest compliment ever, So I'm hoping that maybe many people feel that way when they see him. So
that's actually why I wear the beard, because without the beard, I look so much like Ed Sheeran that people just goad me to sing at parties. Like I can't do that anymore. I can't
do it without the beard.
No. Can't with my Ed Sheeran good looks. Now, does he when Ted performs? Does he perform as Ted, or does he lean fully into the character?
He kind of does a mixture.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of does a mixture, and I think that's really good because it gives people a little taste of who he is as a person, and he's very endearing, along with about what John was about.
Sure.
And I do want to mention it is Saturday, February 19th. It's 2 and 7. These are 2 different times for Roswell Little Theater. So if you're a Roswell Little Theater fan and you go all the time, these times are a little different.
They're odd, yes.
Yeah. Well, 2 o'clock is because we have a lot of followers from Artesia, and they want to get here. The great thing is on my one experience, they either come for lunch and come to the concert, and then they get home before dark, or they come to the concert, go to dinner, and go home. So the Artesians are spending some money here in Roswell for you Roswellians. So that's an awesome thing. In fact, I don't know anyone who didn't do one of those things that came from Artesia. So the 2 o'clock is for that, along with, if I lived in Roswell, I probably would go to the 2 o'clock as well. I'd like my evening to be open.
You get the show, you get to get the entertainment, and then you get to gather with your friends and talk about it afterwards.
Right. And then, of course, the 7 o'clock we had it at 7:30 last time. And because of us being still in winter, I mean, we just started winter now at the end of December. Right. It's still going to be a little darker. I decided to move it up a little bit by half an hour. We did it at 7:30 last time, and it seemed like there was too much of a lag time between the two.
Right.
So we moved it to 7, so we'll be over by 9. And again, you can still be home at a decent hour. So you can still go out to eat at 5:30, still make the concert. And if you get a VIP, there are snacks that will be there and wine. And you get to have the best seats in the house, along with meeting Ted prior to the concert, which is a little different.
That's awesome. It's only $10 more.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. For that little bit more, you're getting so much more.
Right. And we keep that room open at intermission. So Ted will not be in the room at intermission, but if you... Hey, I didn't get snacks beforehand, and I'm kind of hungry now, or just want to go and chitty chat with how the concert's going. Sure. Yeah, and it was real interesting. Funny you should say wine up. So the 2 o'clock show, hardly anything was touched. They went in there and they met the artist, and I guess they had a glass of wine, but very reserved.
They were keeping it polite.
But that 7:30 show,
the sun was still out. Nope. Decent people can't be drinking when the sun's out. Come on.
But the 7:30 show, truly enjoyed the VIP room, which was great because we were like, did we order too much food? Do we have too much stuff? But by the time it was all said and done, it was all great.
Now, I'm sure you guys were real upset about maybe having too much having extra wine
I hate
afterwards.
That.
Oh, I guess everybody grab a bottle on your way out.
And then so that people know as well, this is a fundraiser. Yes, we're all going to enjoy the entertainment, but we're doing this because the Roswell Community Little Theater needs a roof.
Yes.
And they have been doing really well on their own fundraisers and raising money, but we want to give them over the top so that they're comfortable. They own that building, so it's not like they're renting and they can say, can you hold off on, us paying you or anything. This is their big enchilada, their responsibility. And then I'm representing Kiwanis of Roswell, who is building an all-inclusive park for children. Thank you
so much for that. As a father of a child on the spectrum, I can't tell you how much of a difference that makes. I mean, I've taken Rhiannon to some of the all-inclusive parks in Albuquerque,
right?
And they're amazing. It's such an amazing experience.
So all-inclusive park, as you know, is not just for those on the spectrum; it's for everybody, so that all children can can play and enjoy. And of course, that helps socialization, all that kind of thing, makes you a better decision maker, makes you more involved in your community when you start them young, whether it's in the arts or the play of that. So,
and also, and I think a lot of people don't think about how much impact it has on heteronormative kids, that they have that chance to interact with, with kids on the spectrum, and it gives them that empathy and that chance to kind of see things from a different perspective
and see that they're just a kid like they are.
Exactly.
Right. There's no, might be getting to the end product a little differently, but that we're all there for fun and exercise and interaction. So Kiwanis is doing that with the autism community in New Mexico. So we want to thank them as well. And our governor has gave us seed money to start that. And I believe the city of Roswell has asked for more money. When we first received the money, it was worth more. Mm-hmm. So if I understand your gas went up, your groceries went up. So what we could have built then, we cannot build now. Right. So I believe that the city of Roswell has asked for the extra money so that it gets back to where we were. Sure. So thank you for that as well. I don't know. I don't think they talked about it this session. I think it will be in February. Mm-hmm. But that part of it will leave to our representative, Greg Nybert, who's representing us there. And I won't speak anymore because I know a little about that. Sure. But that is what the funds will be going to. So once we reach our cost of the concert, then we will be splitting it with Roswell Community Little Theater and Beshaz Productions. So the Kiwanis.
Perfect. So so the money is going to a fantastic cause. And you touched on something there that Roswell Community Little Theater owns that building. Mm-hmm. As somebody who's spent a lot of time here in Roswell, watching the story of the Little Theater go from that little building over there on Virginia to moving into this theater and basically taking it completely on their own and saying, okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this together. We're going to do that, and it's going to be our
right.
Thing. And it's awesome to see. So they when a hand is needed, that's what we're here for.
And I like to thank the board. I mean, I go to them with these crazy ideas all the time, and they have so far allowed me to do some of them to help out. And it keeps my hand, as I said earlier, in the pot of entertainment and in my passion. And Alethea, who is their president, has been fantastic to work with. We work on the postcards together. We work on, it's funny because she said, if we're going to do radio interviews, it has to be at 9:15. And I'm like a way early person. Right? So I'm like, okay, it can be at 7:15. She's like, no, I'm not coming. And that's fine. That's fine. But I really appreciate Roswell Community Little Theater. I will say our last concert, which was also a fundraiser, we met cost and both groups made money.
Awesome.
And so we had not a sponsor in sight. Right. We had foodie sponsors, but we didn't have sponsors for the concert. So we are looking for sponsors for this concert so that when we get the ticket money in, it goes totally towards the organizations that need it for their projects. So
sponsorships are available if you're a business or an organization that's listening and thinks, I'd like to be a part of this. I'd like to help out. Sponsorships are available, and your money will go to an absolutely amazing cause.
Right, and you'll get some tickets so that you can come, or maybe a group of you can come, depending on the level of sponsorship. Sure. So, and I'll be hitting those up a little harder after the first of the year. Of course, I didn't want to start it now with the holidays. We know that we can do it. We know that we can make the money, but it would be a lot better if we had the sponsorship there. So we'll look into that after. January 3rd, we'll
after
start
the holiday hump.
Right, we'll start knocking on your door and asking, and you don't have to be from here. I mean, the all-inclusive park. The only other place that there's one that's officially that is Rio Grande,
right,
in New Mexico. So we'll be the only one in Southeast New Mexico that we know of, according to the state. So it is not just Roswell. So I appreciate those in Artesia. A lot of them asked me, "Is this going to be a fundraiser again? Is it going for that park you're interested in helping out?" So. Yes, and yes, along with having the Roswell Community Little Theater. Yep. And what's cool is people came from Artesia for the last concert, and now they're coming to Roswell Little Theater for the shows. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool to see happening too.
We tapped into a market that most people hadn't thought about, and there's sort of a bit of a hole in Artesia with with things closing down there as far as like their performances, a lot of their stuff at the theater. That shall not be named. There's a bit of a hole there, and I think that hole is kind of being filled with the Little Theater and with some of the more creative endeavors happening here in Roswell.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth the trip.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and so I'm real happy that I've been able to connect with them, like I said, with Alethea and the rest of the board, and the little theater. They've never. I'm a member, and they've never had a member that hasn't been like in their show or directed shows. And they're like, "So you want to be a member?" And you're not. I'm like, "Well, don't you have membership?" And so hopefully, maybe we can get that going for them as well. You can be a member just because you're enthusiasts, not because you're in any of the productions or anything like that. They also have subscriptions. If you want to see all their shows next season, which I know that they're going to be announcing their shows in the next few months.
I've heard some rumors. I've heard some rumblings of some real
22nd to 23rd. 2022 and 2023 was their season. So, and their tickets are very, very reasonable. So I would get on it now before they realize they could raise the rates because everything else is raising.
That's it.
But so again, it's, what did we say? 1717 South Union is where they're located. And you can give me a call at 575-513-8119 if you're interested in tickets for the tribute to John Denver. VIP is $40. You get a VIP room, and that includes some snacks, wine, and to meet Ted before the concert, as well as the best seats in the house. Absolutely. And $30 is for the rest of the house. It really isn't a bad seat. We hold 198, so that's why we're hoping we'll sell out both concerts. February 19th at 2 and 7 o'clock.
That's one thing I will say about the theater over there is they have phenomenal acoustics. Like for the fact that it's a converted movie theater. I mean, not necessarily the best room for sound absorption and whatnot, but they really have fantastic acoustics in that theater.
Yep, and they have several of their technicians, and I'm sorry I don't remember their names, that worked with our technician with Best Shots they're not used to having concerts. So when you say, do you have a mic and a mic stand, they have hanging mics because they do live theater. So it is a different bird for them as well. Learning process for both of us on how things are. We use their stage as is. They'll be getting ready for their show that has the four ladies in it.
I think it's Four Old Broads.
Yes.
I believe is what's called.
They'll be getting ready for that show when Ted will be there. So we'll be using their set.
Okay.
It's interesting. Some of the people that I know that aren't used to that is like, well, what was that behind them last time? And the next week.
That was the setup for Mother Goose Gets Eaten by Wolves, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm like, well, because they have their show and they're sharing the stage, and this is how it kind of goes when you bring in professional acts to a theater that is doing a lot of things, because they also have CAP that go on there for the kids.
Right.
So, yeah, we're just real thrilled that we can be there and using their space and working with them.
The improv artist in me, I mean, I would use the set. I would chew up the set as much as possible, because I'm thinking about the set they had for the Mother Goose.
Right.
They had the staircase with the balcony.
Right.
And if I was performing, I'd come out on the rafters and start doing the duet thing.
Now, when we did it last time, it wasn't painted yet, and I knew what it was going to be.
Right.
But for those watching it, it was like they could see the platforms, and there's this thing, and why is that behind them? And I'm like, okay, that has nothing to do with the show.
Folks, you're just seeing how the sausage gets made.
Exactly. Oh, you're seeing the magic of theater right there. And it was interesting because I went to Mother Goose a few weeks later with some of the people that had come to the concert. And we get it.
There
right?
it is. Right now it makes sense.
Yeah. So you thought that, the magic of theater is just ta-ching, but it's not. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get it ready. So
a lot of hands in a lot of different places. Well, you guys are constantly on the move. Best Shots Productions, Kiwanis. I mean, everybody just moving. So tickets available, but like you said, they are going fast.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday I was super surprised at how busy I was.
Absolutely. Get them quick. Once again, 575-513-8119 for tickets and more information. $30 reservations, $40 for VIP. Spend the extra $10. It's absolutely going to be worth it. This is we said, a once in a lifetime show. A chance to see an artist that embodies John Denver and the music and the life, and it's really cool.
And the connection to Roswell.
Yeah, absolutely. So get your tickets before they are gone. February 19th, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m., 2 shows. Any possibility of a third show getting added if we get...
I don't know. We'll have to see how tickets go. I'd have to ask maybe 4 weeks before the agent to see how things would go. He is coming actually from Arizona.
Okay.
From 2 concerts there. So we're en route. I don't know if he's en route to the next one in between us, but...
Awesome, but
never say never.
Make it the best problem that Lori could have is, do we add a third show? These tickets are going so fast. February 19th, 2 p.m., 7 p.m. Once again, tickets and more info, 575-513-8119, or head to Roswell Theater with an RE.org for all the info that you need to know. Well, Lori, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And your travel.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Gene's reimbursing you for the travel expenses.
No. And I just want to do a shout out. We are going to do a pancake breakfast for Kiwanis in 2022. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. We'll be selling tickets soon.
The best pancakes in the game.
Especially Mickey Mouse pancakes.
I'm telling you what. You guys, the Kiwanis Club upped my pancake, like my home pancake game. I'm like, if they're doing these on on a mass scale, I should be able to bump my
Figure
game up
this out at home, right?
They should at least be round, right? That's kind of what I'm going for. If I can get round, I'm happy. That's really all a guy can hope for these days. Well, Lori, thank you so much for your time, and
thanks, Sean, and thanks for subbing for Mike. And I hope Mike has safe travels back for tomorrow's show.
Absolutely. Knock on wood, we'll have him back in the captain's chair tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks.
Health announced Wednesday it plans to adopt new federal guidance surrounding isolation and quarantine for COVID-19. The state is currently updating its contact tracing protocols and other key processes and will announce a more specific implementation timeline very soon. However, the new guidelines involve shortening the quarantine time to 5 days for people who have been exposed to COVID, but those people are also strongly urged to wear a face mask in public at all times for an additional 5 days after their quarantine. The Roswell Police Department is thanking Church on the Move for its recent donation to RPD. The donation was in the amount of $5,000. In a prepared statement, RPD says it very much appreciates the support and generosity of Church on the Move for the $5,000 donation. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind today ahead of a low-pressure system that's moving our way. We will have sunshine, our afternoon high in the low to mid-60s. For tonight, maybe an isolated shower or two and lows near 40, and then scattered showers and a few afternoon thunderstorms coming up tomorrow. Highs near 60, maybe a few lingering showers New Year's Day. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Hundreds of flights are still being canceled. It's been that way for several days now, as the Omicron variant has become one big headache for travelers and for the airlines. Infections are rising among pilots and flight attendants. According to the data from the flight tracking website FlightAware, 832 flights were canceled by midday Wednesday. There were nearly 1,300 cancellations for flights entering, leaving, or inside the United States on Tuesday, and about 1,500 Monday. Belgian authorities have allowed for the reopening of cinemas, theaters, and concert halls. The decision Wednesday handed a victory to the culture sector, which said it was being unfairly targeted by the COVID rules. Authorities are trying to keep the pandemic at bay, while many citizens are frustrated by limits on their personal freedoms. On Wall Street, the Dow up 90 points. The Nasdaq lost 15, and the S&P 500 rose 7 points. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical.
Name to remember. This time of year, we all become kids again, especially when we start thinking about Christmases past, how they smelled, how they looked, and how they felt. We get a little weepy remembering those uncles and aunts and parents and grandparents who made Christmas time so special and gave us the traditions we passed down to our own kids. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Shirley and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, that mess in the living room on Christmas morning is the most glorious mess in the world. Don't be too quick to clean it up.
Some of us have already been thinking about it. Some of us are dreading it. Few of us are good at it. It's those three little words that come around this time every year. If you're thinking of New Year's resolutions, you'd be correct. However, let me put a different spin on things for the 2022 year. Instead of starting new things, let's stop some things. Sounds good, right? Well, this new year, let's stop not spending more time with our family. Let's stop not being good neighbors with those around us. Let's stop not being kind. Here's a good one. Let's stop not going to church this new year. Let's stop not reading our Bible as much. And let's stop not praying as much. Well, you get it, right? Maybe some things need to change. What do you need to stop doing this new year? Come join us this year at the Country Club Road Church. We'll be looking for you.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 95% of people text things they could never say in person. Check your text messages. We just sent you something. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 55 minutes after 8 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. We're going to have Crystal Noble join us from the Roswell Humane Society. Give us an update one more time in 2021 on what's happening over at the Humane Society. Give us an update on pets available right now for adoption, and of course, what's going on over at the thrift store there. Any deals, sales, things. They always got some sweet deals and things happening over there. And then, of course, I imagine some New Year's tips. We got the New Year's weekend approaching, New Year's Eve tomorrow. Fireworks, generally, something that happens during the New Year's. And reminder to our, especially our dog owners out there, but pet owners, might need to do a little extra care when that happens, especially if you have a dog or a cat or a pet that doesn't do well with the fireworks or loud noises and things like that. Usually it's dogs. I never really see cats so much with that problem. By the way, our cats were happy to see us when we got back. Hannah, my tortoiseshell, the brown and black one, she played mad for the first half hour. She'd come out like she didn't come out like Bella, the black and white. She was all wanting about the attention and meowing it up a storm, and was so happy to see us yesterday. Hannah was too, but she played hard to get for a while. She didn't want to come out, didn't let you touch her, and then when she got over her madness, being angry, she was all about wanting the love and an attention and everything. So the cats are happy to have us back at the house there. Thanks to Sean for checking in on him.
I was going to say, I heard you talk to him.
Yeah, that's
through
the
camera.
That was my wife, and it's creepy.
It's funny.
Did it freak Sean out? Because it creeps me out
a little bit.
Yeah,
but no, I think it's funny because it's like I guess he hadn't gone to check yet because he hadn't had time to.
Yeah, he was busy.
And it's like she knew that he didn't because of the camera.
Well, I don't think so because,
or like she at least could know
but
check.
She didn't have time to watch it 24/7. Although,
well, doesn't it record though?
No, it's a cheapo.
Okay,
we bought it at Target a couple years ago for like $30.
But I'm
$40.
saying it'd just be funny if it has like emotion alert, and then you could like just sit there and just watch him.
No, she's got an app. It's a thing, and you just chime in and be honest. The only time I let her,
I have a camera like that. That's why I know.
The only time I let her put that out is when we're gone.
Okay.
When it's home, I'm like, pack that thing up, put it away. I don't want, because, hackers and Lord knows, you hear all those stories. I'm like, I don't want that. I've already been stolen everything from Alexa and Lord knows what else in my house there. I don't want one more thing doing it, Well,
no, it's just like, Sean's in your house taking care of the cats. You're watching him and you're just like, Sean.
She did that. I was like, stop, you're creepy doing that. Sean. She does it to the cats too. I was like, that's torturous. She's like, hi, Bella. And the cat's looking around, where's Mom? I hear Mom, but I don't know where Mom is. I'm like, that is so torturous.
No, I do that to my bird because like he needs some kind of attention just a little bit. Like, yeah, I'm gone a lot of the time.
I get that she wants to check in and all that. And so I'm like, yeah, do your thing. But she'll stare at him and watch him. And like when she was bored, like especially when we had a little downtime, a Tuesday when we finally got to room and settled, I'm sitting there, she's on there watching them, and of course that's when Sean, she had a lot of time to watch, and so she was.
Keeps you accountable.
And she's like, "Oh, Sean's there." Sees the light, and then she's like, "Hi, Sean," and I'm sure he about filled his pants with some when that happened.
No, I got my bird the other day. He was minding his own business because I guess blue and gold macaws and macaws in general just like to be loud. They just like to sit there and talk to themselves.
Just want to be in the room and let you know they're there.
Well, that's what he was doing. He was sitting there just just doing his thing. Right. And then I was like, "Baby," and he what? He jumped. He freaked out.
I wasn't doing anything.
I was like, "Hi, baby." He's like, "What?" That's his name, by the way. His name's Baby.
Never mind. I was like, bring him in one time. We got to go, but
we can. He's just a little.
That would be fun.
He's hard to get in here.
If that's possible, I'd love that. That'd be fun. All right, it's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Mayor Bill de Blasio insists New York City will ring in 2022 in Times Square as planned, despite record numbers of COVID infections in the city and around the country. De Blasio on NBC's Today Show saying he wants to show the world that the city is fighting our way through this. The National Health Service in England building temporary structures at hospitals around that country, preparing for a possible surge of COVID patients.
The UK reported a record 183,037 new coronavirus infections on Wednesday, 32% more than the previous day. While early data suggests Omicron is less likely to cause serious illness than earlier variants, public health officials think the sheer number of infections could lead hospitalizations and deaths to increase. The NHS has begun setting up surge hubs at 8 hospitals around England, each with the capacity to treat about 100 patients.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. Airlines plagued by COVID-related staffing shortages have canceled more than 1,000 flights so far today. Jobless claims in the U.S. dropping to a 52-year low.
It's more evidence the job market remains strong as the economy recovers from last year's coronavirus recession. The Labor Department says unemployment claims dropped by 8,000 last week to 198,000. The 4-week average is the lowest since October 1969. The number suggests the fast-spreading Omicron variant has yet to trigger a wave of layoffs. Just over 1.7 million Americans were collecting unemployment benefits the week that ended December 18th. That's down by 140,000 from the week before. Weekly claims have fallen steadily for most of the year. The unemployment rate has fallen to 4.2%, and employers are reluctant to let workers go at a time when it's so tough to find replacements. Jennifer King, Washington.
Wall Street adding to recent gains. Right now, the Dow is up 37 points, the NASDAQ 70 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Tell me, why a team worth $800 million should put you in the driver's seat?
This Christmas,
if you give me a chance, I will not let you down.
Life made him an underdog.
All my life, I've defined myself through sports. I was meant for something more.
Faith made him a champion.
God's going to do something great with you.
Experience the true story of legendary quarterback Kurt Warner.
Destiny wants of the underdogs. You want to prove that.
American Underdog. In theaters everywhere now. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
President Biden has declared war on the small business owners of America. He's pushed for a massive tax increase, and his $2 trillion infrastructure plan is a $2 trillion tax hike on American employers. Job Creators Network works hard to fight these attacks, and they're looking for a few good men and women to join their small business advocacy and advisor program. They will prepare you to be a leader for small businesses in your community, your state, and the country you love. If you want to join the fight, go to joinjcn.com now. That's JoinJCN. They need you. America needs you.
The Indonesian Navy has towed a boat carrying 100 Rohingya refugees from Myanmar to Aceh province.
At first, the Indonesian authorities refused to tow the boat ashore, planning instead to push it into Malaysian waters. However, the local fishermen organized protests demanding help for the refugees. Those calls were soon echoed by the United Nations Refugee Council and the human rights group Amnesty International, leading Indonesian officials to relent and allow the group to come on to dry land.
That's the BBC's Celia Hatton. 2 former editors from a Hong Kong online pro-democracy news outlet have been charged with sedition and have been denied bail a day after the outlet said it would close following a police raid on its office and 7 arrests. National Security Police say they charged 2 men with conspiracy to publish seditious materials According to local media reports, the two were editors at Stand News. Townhall.com. 6 days, not enough for jurors in the fraud trial of former Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes.
Jurors won't resume deliberations until after the New Year's holiday weekend. They had been expected to return today, but a court filing after they left Wednesday disclosed they will be taking a break until Monday. There was no explanation for the pause. Holmes is facing 11 criminal charges, alleging she duped investors and patients by hailing her company's blood testing technology as a medical breakthrough, when in fact it was prone to wild errors. If convicted, she faces up to 20 years in prison. I'm Mike Hempen.
Heads up if you live in the South. Forecasters are warning the region could be in for more severe weather, specifically in the form of powerful thunderstorms, possible right on through New Year's Day. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace Invierno.
Mornings with Mike
Sorry,
Winters.
no trill. I can't do that
I
yet.
can't either.
Hang on. Trace.
There you go. That was good.
Well, I have to
You got to really get into it, yeah. We do it wrong. Someone tried to teach me that we don't use the right part of our tongue when we do it. That's what I was learning. People that speak Spanish naturally, they're trained to use that part of the tongue. And for us, it's not as natural. That's for people that speak English as a first language. So that's what I was told. I've been practicing, sort of. Happy Eve of New Year's Eve, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm back, obviously, in the chair after a day later, but back nonetheless. I'm back from here on out with regular shows today, tomorrow, and then, of course, normal schedule full next week as well. So I'll be back in studio. I'm here. We got a show. We're going. Big thanks to Sean and Tanner for holding down the fort and taking care of business while I was gone. They did an admirable job, as they always do. So big thank you to them for that. I was kind of, if you missed the trip stuff, I kind of explained a hunk of that in the first hour and some in the last hour, and I'm sure I'll crowbar a little bit of stuff in between now and then too. But that if you really care, I don't think there's anybody that does. But if someone out there that does, you can go back and check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com. And right now, I don't know if it's not us. I think it's Facebook. They're having some issues with video and stuff right now. So if you normally watch us or try to access us through Facebook, you may have some issues there. I know it's live, but uploading and it's been a little bit tricky for the guys here the last couple days here. I think I saw earlier it was in fact streaming there, but if you normally go there and have issues, then go ahead and just log on to ksvptv.com and click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. It's working as advertised there too. So that's a face of someone don't want me on the radio. I saw that. I know that. I know that look a mile away. I was like, no. I know that one.
I was gonna say I think our page is back
Because I
for
say
right now.
it's working, but it may be sporadic and things. So if you look for
I'd go
something,
to if you want to watch like specific highlights.
KSVP TV, probably your best
No,
bet.
actually the YouTube.
Oh, the YouTube link.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we only have the live streams themselves
Okay.
on the KSVTV.com.
Okay.
I need to talk with Gene about it.
Okay. Or Boxcast or whatever,
Yeah.
brand we have now.
Yeah, I gotta find it. I gotta find a way to.
But it's there available, and of course, look for Roswell Talk FM on YouTube, and you can go that way, that route as well too.
It's specifically KSVP TV. That's it.
Oh, I'm sorry, KSVP TV on Facebook.
Yeah, it's all of it.
My apologies. I shot out the wrong. We got so many.
I know. You're good.
So many ways to access us, which is, obviously convenient. However, it can be confusing at times when you try to explain all that to people. It's like, how do I get here? It's like, well, you can go this way through here or go through here through this way. And then if that doesn't, like that way, there's a back door through here and around there. And it's, it's trying to get directions when you just want to go to one place and they give you every bit of directions. Well, how do you want to get there? It's like, I just want to watch it, dude. And there's a bunch of ways. If you have problems, just try one of the others. It's bound to get in at some point or another. It's kind of out of our hands, though. It's up to, I don't know, Bezos or whoever's running the world on the internets now. We're gonna have Crystal Noble join us here in just a few from the Roswell Humane Society, who brought looks like unwilling daughter and dog. You can hide behind Big Flat Mike if you want. We can put him right there in front of you if that makes you happy. I don't know if So we'll figure that one out here. But Crystal's going to join us, give us an update on what's happening out at the Roswell Humane Society. One more time in 2021 here, give us an update. Adopting pets, any end of year or New Year sales going on over at the thrift store. And of course, 'tis the season where people want to give back and things, some for good reasons, some to, tax write-offs, whatever your reason is. I don't care. The Humane Society would love for that help. So we'll talk all about that with Crystal here in just a few minutes. Today, don't forget, today is the final day of action for the Pocorn tournament and the holiday tournaments. We have those games for you again. KSVPTV.com. Click on the Pocorn tournament link there to watch games there. The holiday tournament there, link there to watch those games. But the final days, finals, championships, all that good stuff wrapping up today. I think there's at least 3 or 4 games on the schedule for today there for you to check out throughout the day there. And again, that's at KSVPTV.com. Or like he said, you can go to the KSVP TV YouTube page. It should be on Facebook, barring any Facebook issues there. So just want to get that out to everybody. All right, it is 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a look at that weather. Going to be nice today, but after today, not so much for a couple days. So here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind today ahead of a low-pressure system that's moving our way. We will have sunshine, our afternoon high in the low to mid-60s. For tonight, maybe an isolated shower or two and lows near 40, and then scattered showers and a few afternoon thunderstorms coming up tomorrow. Highs near 60, maybe a few lingering showers New Year's Day. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 36 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 46%. Winds currently out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Today, mostly sunny, although I don't know where that part's yet. It's still pretty cloudy out. Expect highs near 62 today. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 40. So warm overnight tonight. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For your New Year's Eve, we're going to go out with some moisture, perhaps. A 50-50 chance, 50% chance of showers tomorrow. Mostly cloudy. Highs expected to once again be right around 60 tomorrow. Winds will be a-blowing, though. They're going to be out of the south, 5 to 10 early, 10 to 15 for the day. So not too bad Friday. New Year's Day is really meh. But they're saying we have a 50% chance of rain, but they're only saying less than 1/10 of an inch of rain expected. So we have a good chance of rain tomorrow, just not much of it actually coming. Friday night, a 30% chance of showers. So if you're going to head out for New Year's, going out to the convention center or wherever you got planned, bring a rain. Those things that you buy at the store once for like $5 and then you leave it in your car and forget about it. They're called an umbrella. If you have one, every once in a while we need one. Grab it for tomorrow night when you go out. But they're saying mostly cloudy, overnight low of 39, so it won't be super cold for your New Year's, but chilly nonetheless. Southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, so it'll be a little breezy. And then there's New Year's Day on Saturday. It's not going to be pleasant. There's nothing about this that I really like, other than we may get some moisture. We're looking at a 30% chance of rain pretty much all day, AM, afternoon. Mostly sunny. Highs only expected to reach 48 on Saturday. Winds, and it's going to be breezy. That's the part that kind of stinks. Southwest winds 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour there for New Year's Day on Saturday. That evening, it's going to be cold. They even use the term blustery. Mostly clear, overnight low of 18 and blustery. And then Sunday will be sunny, but highs only around 50, 51. And then when you head back to work and school next Monday, expect sunny skies, highs in the upper 50s, 57. And then we're going to be, by Tuesday, Wednesday next week, upper 60s, feeling close to 70 there. So it's short-lived, but some cold spell and some moisture possible here next couple days. All right, it is 9:15. Let's go ahead and take a quick 3-minute commercial break, and then we'll talk Humane Society on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
This time of year, we all become kids again, especially when we start thinking about Christmases past, how they smelled, how they looked, and how they felt. We get a little weepy remembering those uncles and aunts and parents and grandparents who made Christmas time so special and gave us the traditions we passed down to our own kids. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Shirley and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, that mess in the living room on Christmas morning is the most glorious mess in the world. Don't be too quick to clean it up.
Get ready to put 2021 in the rear view. The City of Roswell presents Rockin' Roswell 2022. Usher in the new year with hors d'oeuvres, a cash bar, and music by DJ Cool Arrow. Then at midnight, get ready for the glitter and gold balloon drop with up to $500 in cash prizes. Tickets are just $20 a person and $30 a couple and are available now at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center on North Main. Call 575-624-6860 to find out more. Rockin' Roswell 2022, Friday, December 31st, 9 p.m. at the Convention Center.
Some of us have already been thinking about it. Some of us are dreading it. Few of us are good at it. It's those 3 little words that come around this time every year. If you're thinking of New Year's resolutions, you'd be correct. However, let me put a different spin on things for the 2022 year. Instead of starting new things, let's stop some things. Sounds good, right? Well, this new year, let's stop not spending more time with our family. Let's stop not being good neighbors with those around us. Let's stop not being kind. Here's a good one. Let's stop not going to church this new year. Let's stop not reading our Bible as much. And let's stop not praying as much. Well, you get it, right? Maybe some things need to change. What do you need to stop doing this new year? Come join us this year at the Country Club Road Church. We'll be looking forward.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You cannot snore and dream at the same time. Unless you're dreaming about snoring. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Humane Society, Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you've brought guests.
I did.
Would you like to introduce?
So
We have.
He's like, no.
4-month-old Sadie.
All right, Sadie, and that's and Sadie's
Chihuahua.
Dachshund mix. Okay, I was like, I see Chihuahua. What's the other?
She's a Chiweenie.
Chiweenie. I like that. Feels like that sounds like a delicious appetizer. Chiweenie.
It sounds like chili dogs.
With
Chiweenie.
With an avocado salsa, maybe.
Chiweenie. And then we have my daughter Janae.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi.
And she has no desire whatsoever to be sitting right where she's at this morning here. So.
Nope, she didn't get that memo.
And but she's a thespian and everything, so you like to project and talk to people, right? You like to, you just don't want to do it right now. I get, right?
Not when she's on spotlight. Apparently.
I get you.
When there's about 50 other people with her, she's fine.
Yes. So, our Chiweenie's scared. I could tell that's a nervous look. Of course, Chihuahuas are nervous by nature.
So are Dachshunds.
Yeah.
So she's got the double.
Yeah, the double negative. Now, is this looking for a home or is this?
She is.
Oh, okay. Now, how long has she been at the shelter here?
So Sadie is the first part of the entire litter. We got all 11 puppies, but we got Sadie back in September.
Okay. How old is Sadie now?
Sadie's about 4.5 months old now.
About 4.5 months.
And the second part of her litter came in at the beginning of December.
Okay.
So they're not quite out of quarantine yet. They will be right after the first of the year.
Okay. So is she about full grown even though she's 4.5 months?
For little dogs, they do grow to their full size by 6 months.
Okay, so she's about there.
She's just about
Might
there.
get another pound or two here, but that's about it
Mm-hmm.
for her. Okay. Because I looked at her and I was like, she looks full grown. She looks, she doesn't look, how dogs age and you see the gray. She doesn't have none of that, but she looks like an adult dog versus a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she needs a good home.
She cuddles very well.
She looks like it. She's been very quiet, just kind of clinging on to your daughter there and saying, this. I think it's two people, kindred spirits right now. Neither one want to be here right now. So.
Well, Sadie is her favorite dog to hang out with when she comes to work with me.
Oh, okay.
I told her, go grab Sadie. Sadie's coming with us today.
All right. Well, if that gets too much, you might end up with Sadie.
Oh, God, no. She's got goats to play with at home. Baby goats.
So Sadie's looking for a good home.
She is.
How does Sadie do with other dogs and things?
Well, Sadie came in with
a litter.
So, and she still has access to be around her litter mates.
Okay.
She seems to not care about anything. She's done meet and greets with cats, too. Done very well.
Okay.
Now, anything bigger than her, we haven't introduced her to. So, I don't know how she reacts to dogs bigger than her. But anything equal to her size, she's just like, oh, whatever.
She's good with it. She's like, okay. And I imagine the big dog, it's all about,
the little dog,
just
I
like
gotta
people.
be big.
Well, and then it's just like people. The big dog comes bowed up on her. She's probably going to be like, nah, I don't like that one. But if all floppy and goofy and wanting to play, she might be a little more receptive. It's like people.
Mm-hmm.
You're nice to a person, they're going to be nice to you back. If you're a jerk to them, guess what? You're probably going to get that right back at you. So, so it's probably a lot of that going on too. But she needs a good home. I did get a chance before I left because we talked to you right before Christmas there.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a chance to see all the wonderful volunteer pictures and things that I can't remember. Was it ENMU?
Yes, the campus.
Yeah, and those were great. I hope it helped adopt a few of those.
Do you know how long it took just to get those few pictures?
I imagine a lot because they were very
Animals
well.
do not cooperate for photos.
And they were like professional, like if you take your kid to Owens Mills kind of pictures.
So,
yeah.
We spent probably 2.5 hours just to get 10 photos. Now, to get 10
natural
good photos. So one of the things we had to start doing was recording them, and then you pause it at the moment, and then you
pick the best one that catches them in action there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cats didn't want to cooperate. The dogs were like, let's shred all the decorations.
Yeah, it's a big playland for some of these dogs.
And then if you see Tom, the cat, he's actually hanging on.
I remember that one.
So we went to the thrift store and we had got some Christmas decorations, and then Miss Marino Geen had bought some too and brought them. And so we were decorating in the vet room. And so, first one, I was like, you know what? He's a really calm cat.
Let's go easy. That didn't go well.
She looked at me, she goes, I thought you said calm cat. I said, well, apparently he likes decorations that I didn't know about.
I think we just found a trigger.
He climbed the entire, it was actually a tree skirt that we hung up.
Okay. But it's an awesome picture.
He climbed up halfway to the top, and then looked at us and was like, "Oh, how do I get down?" I was like, "You better get that photo because I ain't taking them down until you get a photo."
All right. I saw that picture. I loved it. I was like, and even the other ones, with the dogs and the cat, it looked natural.
Yeah,
like
they
were.
decorated a box
Mhm.
and then stuffed the bottom with like a little dog bed, so that way the animals could be sitting halfway up, so it looked like they were hanging over.
Sure.
That was the hardest photos to get because they would jump out and then the camera would snap in mid jump.
Right, and it catch them all.
Yeah. So they probably took about 1,000 photos that day just to get 10 really good photos.
Ones. Well, I hope it helps.
It did. It really did. And the fact that the interpersonal communications, they always do so much for us. They have 2 semesters. And like each semester they have where they group and they go out to the community. Well, we're naturally one of them that gets chosen twice a year. And
That's
then
great.
Marine has a group, and I'm not exactly sure what the group is called, but it's where they continue to volunteer throughout the community. And any like big holiday or anytime they need to do something major, they come to us, they walk the dogs, they brush the dogs.
That's awesome.
If it's in the summertime, they bathe the dogs.
Oh, wow.
To just try to help get them out into the community.
That's great.
And that helps us too.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
Miss Marino Gein is one of the most awesomest professors out there that you could ever ask for.
I love that. That's
when I
awesome.
went to college, she was there, so she's been there a very long time.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if they're teaching photography and these things, the world's your subject, and what better place than because there's not a person on the planet that's going to look at pictures of cats and puppies and things and be like, oh gosh, they're going to be like, aww.
And what's even more funnier is it was all done from our smartphones.
That's great.
No
oh yeah,
professional
technology
yeah.
nowadays.
You don't have to have a camera no more. You just use your cell
I see
phone
those-
and they go to the pro mode and start snapping.
I see those Android and Apple commercials, and they're like Steven Spielberg, like people like, hey, we're making a movie. All we got is this phone, but here we go, and yeah, it's crazy. So, well, that's great to see. And so, folks, I imagine there's people listening want to do more volunteers. Always, that's something, especially for folks that maybe can't adopt the dogs because they live in a townhouse or something that doesn't have a yard, but you love pets and you want to get some time. This is a great way to volunteer. Spend a couple hours a week or whatever your availability is, and sometimes just coming out and socializing with the pets. Obviously, weather permitting, taking them out for walks and things, but taking them into the meet and greet room and just interacting with humans, all the pets, that makes them more used to people, more friendly around people, which in turn makes them more appealing when families are coming to look to adopt pets. So it's a great win-win. And of course, if you want to get more involved and help with the cleaning out of things and helping, because there's a lot of cleaning going on. Love to have volunteers do all that stuff. So big thank you to the college for doing this.
Yes.
But if, the more the merrier. If you'd love to get involved, reach out to Crystal or the Humane Society and say, hey, how can we help? How can we get involved? And I'm sure there's a list of things that you guys could use help.
There's a ton of things, and we even, we do stuff with junior highs and high schools, like the Honor Society, because, our insurance requires you to be 18 to actually volunteer in the shelter.
Okay.
There are other things that you can do outside that help the shelter still. Like the Honor Society for Goddard for the last 10, 11 years has always done a donation drive.
Okay. So collecting pet supplies
through the
or things.
entire school year, they collect, cleaning supplies, cat litter, things that aren't going to expire, obviously.
Sure, yeah.
And then, right before Christmas or right before the end of the school year, they call us and we either go get it, depending on how much it is, or they bring it to us.
Nice.
The Brendo Middle School has always done, their Honor Society has always done drives. Now, what they do is they do pennies for pets.
Okay.
So they have all the students drop their change
Loose
in a
change
bucket.
off. Okay.
And then they go get it rolled up, and then they get a cashier's check.
Oh.
And then they get a big old cardboard cashier's check made.
Nice. And present it.
And they present it.
That's amazing.
And
those donations help, whether it
They
covers
do.
vet bills or the electric bill. They got to pay utilities or even trash removal, things like that. If they get a bunch of donations that are trash, they got to take it out to the landfill. Guess what? It costs them every time they do that.
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, the Tuesday after Christmas, we had about 4 big loads of nothing that had to be hauled off to the trash because, people get, new stuff for Christmas and they
Sure.
donate their old stuff, but sometimes it's not
It's not usable.
Usable or
Yeah.
sellable, and in return, we have to pay to haul that off. You know, we don't get free disposal because we're not part of the city. You know,
Sure.
we still have to pay.
I always ask folks, if you'd like to donate to the Humane Society, call ahead, talk, say, hey, I've got furniture, or I've got clothing, can you use this stuff? And always think of, if it's too worn out for you to use, then it's probably too worn out for someone else to use. But say it's a couch that you just got a new couch. This one's a perfectly good couch, or a coffee pot. You said, I'm going to get the latest Keurig. I'm going to down or upgrade, and I've got my other Keurig that only holds, I can make a cup at a time. Now I can make a carafe at a time, whatever it is. If it's still good, it outgrew it or whatever, then please, by all means, that's great stuff. But if it's clothes that it's gone through 3 kids and starting to look a little beat, and maybe just...
You've sewn the crotch one too many times.
Yeah, maybe just discard that stuff,
But there's a lot of things that, that are still lightly used that are still perfectly sellable.
Sure.
But just think of it this way. If you wouldn't purchase it from a yard sale or a thrift store, don't donate it.
Yeah. That's the good rule of thumb. Yeah.
If, you would look at it and be like, that's used and worn up and I wouldn't buy it, don't donate it.
Sure.
Because in reality, we're probably going to look at it and be like, we can't sell that.
Absolutely.
So, and it just helps us because in order for us to be able to make money to help the animals, we can't spend the money disposing trash.
I know you're trying to be good heart about a donation here, but
Right.
you're actually causing more harm than good by doing that.
And, if you're not sure if it's something that we would take as a donation, call.
Absolutely.
Talk to Camille, say, hey, this is what I have, even maybe ask her, hey, can you guys come by and take a look and tell me what you can and can't?
Mm-hmm.
And then let them pick whatever they feel that is sellable.
Sure.
And then whatever they can't, just discard it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be awesome. That would be a great way to support the Humane Society and get involved. Another great way to support, maybe you don't have a bunch of stuff, is become a member.
Yes, and January's new enrollment.
Good deal.
Our newsletter will be coming out in the beginning of January. So
Okay.
if you're a member, the enrollment form will be on there.
Okay.
If you're not a member, you can go by the kennels and pick up one. You can go online and do it. I think Tascosa is going to keep a few of them over there. So
Okay.
if you want one, you can pick one up from Tascosa.
Perfect.
And Euphoria on 3rd Street has some of our memberships too because she sponsors us on First Fridays if Tascosa's not doing it.
Okay. Well, if you want, if next time you come, drop a couple off here. We'll be happy if people want to come by and pick them up and fill them out and drop them off later or something like that. We'd absolutely help there. But yeah, that's a great way. And the good news is your pets, your kids, your grandma, your grandfather twice removed, everybody and their uncle can be a member of the Humane Society. You pet rock.
Even if you adopt Sadie could become a member.
Yeah.
She could be a member alumni.
Exactly. A member. Maybe you have a special dinner for those. Like some kind of fresh outpost just lined up or whatever they got now.
We got the buffet milk bone.
There you go.
And then the tartare beefaroni.
I like the milk bone buffet. Sounds almost delicious. There you go see it.
You're like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
The peanut butter one smells okay, but
Yeah. Well, the jerky's always what
you know what? The filet mignon stuff always smells so good. Like if they can make human food in a can smell like that and taste like that, it'd be one thing. But dog food, some of the flavors always smell so good. Like the pepperoni smell like actual jerky.
Yeah, but it's all bland food because if you try to spice it up to our palate, that's too rich for most animals' blood there. So it's gonna. What happens is they'll love it and they'll chow it down, but 5 minutes later you're gonna see it again.
So
you have to clean it up.
Funny story: a long time ago, pepperonis didn't come in the aluminum Ziploc bag.
Okay.
They came in a canister like the Slim Jims.
Okay.
With the lid on top.
So they looked very similar to human form of Slim
Very
Jim.
similar.
Okay.
Well, one of my employees' dad's mom had bought, a canister of the Slim Jims for her husband and then a can of the pepperonis for their dog.
And then parked them right next to each other?
No. She put the dog stuff on the other side while
Okay.
he was going through the cabinets and he just saw it and he's like, well, I wonder what she moved my beef sticks over here for. So he got him, ate the entire thing, and then told her, I need more of these. These taste better than the real beef sticks.
Oh, he didn't even know and then liked them better.
He didn't even know and he liked them better. And she goes, honey, those are the dog treats. And he was like, are they cheaper than my regular beef sticks? Because I like them better. So some people have the palate of dog food.
All right. Well, to him, he's probably pepperoni king, man. He's probably to this day. Well, you know what to get that guy for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Now they come in the resealable, 3-pound bag. So
But I'm sure we can get a Christmas pepperoni basket put together for that. So to each their own.
Yep.
You do you. God bless you.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm.
But if you'd love to help, great ways. Those are great ways.
There's so many great ways.
And of course, shopping. Come out and shop.
Yes.
You know, that's I would imagine right now. What's the sweet deals for this time? Is it decoration stuff? Or
so they've already all the Christmas stuff. They knocked it all the way down to 75% off, and that's all gone.
Okay, so
there's no more Christmas
come and
in the
gone.
store. It's
That's
come and
been
gone.
picked apart. All right.
So we will be closed. Both us and the thrift store will be closed Friday and Saturday.
So tomorrow and Saturday
Mm-hmm.
this week. So today's last day you can for any business this week.
And
in
then
2021.
our normal days, Sunday and Monday. We will reopen on Tuesday. The thrift store will reopen on Wednesday, 10 a.m. But on the 15th, let me double check. I think it's the 15th.
15th of January. Okay.
Camille is going to do the 15th of January. So she's going to do a New Year, new store sale.
Okay.
Everything, regardless if it's furniture, decorations, clothing, the entire store that day only will be 50% off.
Wow.
So if you need to shop, if you need pots and pans, they've even got a couple of kitchen little toaster things, and they got some Keurigs over there.
Okay.
Anything like small appliances, big appliances, furniture. They've got a full-size bed over there right now that looks really nice. It's got a pillow top mattress. Frame and everything with it.
Probably spent a couple grand new on it if you bought it.
Yeah, it's a Serta.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Easy.
They've got that next door right now. But anything that's still in the store or anything that they get in on January 15th will be 50% off the entire day.
And by the way, it's already deeply discounted at the thrift store anyway. So if you would have bought that bed, say today, it's already hundreds cheaper than what you would have paid for it.
Right.
And then
I think they have it marked for $125 or $200.
Yeah, and on that day, you'll get it for, if it's still around, I don't know.
Right.
You'll get it for $75, $50, That's
right.
amazing.
And remember, every Wednesday is still senior day.
Yes.
So all seniors, 20% off your entire purchase.
Okay.
On Thursdays is military, active duty, or retired military veterans, 20% off.
Nice.
And then every Saturday is whiteboard sale day.
Awesome.
So there's the whiteboard as soon as you walk in. It's on the left-hand side.
Like your specials.
Whatever sale they're having that day, whether it's hanging clothes half off, basket clothes, back room, furniture, whatever sale of that day, it will be posted up there.
Yeah, good deal.
And then for the bookworm people, we still have the little book area. It's always restocked, lots of new stuff, hardbacks, paperbacks, softbacks, cooking books, pattern books. They've got a lot of craft books.
Okay. So if you're looking for some projects for the new year here, they got you covered.
They've got the crochet books, the knitting books, the where you put your pattern and sew and make your own clothing kind of books.
Okay.
The not me kind of books.
That's not your game. Man.
No,
You're not into that.
Nope.
Good deal.
We are the cook.
You're the cook side.
We are the cook side of the books.
Not the sewing and craft.
Well, I can do it. I just don't like to.
Right. It's not your passion. Or you'll do it as needed. Like if a button falls off or a hole comes up somewhere, all right, I'll take care of that. But I ain't making no Afghans anytime soon.
Nope.
Gotcha.
I ain't building no quilts.
My sister, my youngest sister, Callie, she's in 7th grade now, is now into crocheting. And
really?
Yeah, she was crocheting when I got to visit her and see her. And I love that because you don't see many youth crocheting anymore. It's kind of a dying breed here.
When I was younger, I crocheted, I knitted. My grandma made me sew. That's how I know how to sew. And my grandma used to make me iron our clothes every day.
Yeah, you got to do it because it is a skill you need at some point in your life to sew and things.
But kids these days don't know how good they have it with the electric irons and not the cast iron irons where you have to have your spray bottle and then heat it on the stove.
Yeah.
That's ironing.
Yep. That's when you get that burnt mark on the back of the shirt and you wonder that's how that happened.
Yep.
Let's talk pets. How's our selection of adoptable pets right now?
We have a plethora.
Good.
So on our dogs, we have 4 that as of the 21st of this year will have been in the shelter for 1 full year.
Oh, wow. So we need to get them a home.
We're working with Albuquerque trying for them to help us, but these guys really, really need a home.
We don't want the institutionalized syndrome to happen to these pets. Yeah.
And surprisingly, they've done very well. They're still very good. They're not acting kennel sour or anything. But
good news is they're probably pretty well loved by staff and everybody that sees them. So the human interaction they do, it's very positive and very good.
They're all bigger dogs.
Yeah.
And they're all what we would say would be middle-aged. Some people would think older.
Gotcha.
Yin Yang, he's going to be 4 now.
Okay.
And then we have Denim, who's going to be about 5.
Okay.
Gabby's only going to be about 2 years old.
Okay.
And then Candy's going to be 6.
Okay.
They are all larger dogs.
Okay.
Yin Yang has to have a 7-foot fence, non-climbable, because he can get out of anything.
Escape artist. Okay.
Yes.
Which is probably why these are a little bit harder to adopt pets, because they have a little bit more special needs than other dogs would have or require.
They're all so affectionate, so sweet. They all walk great on a harness. One of our volunteers, Rala, who comes twice a week to walk dogs, these are the first 4 that he walks.
Okay.
So that way they're getting outside time at the park.
Getting exercise.
And keeping them from going kennel sour.
Sure. Or gaining weight too much,
Yeah.
Bigger dogs that aren't as active will gain weight pretty quick.
Sometimes when they're in a shelter, the stress will cause them to lose weight
sure.
too.
Yeah,
so
that's true too.
You have
where the physicalities lack and the mental, social sides times 10, which, it's just like us, people,
Right.
Same kind of, when we go through stress, you see changes in your body. It's no different with animals. So
Right.
Yeah.
But we do have some smaller to medium-sized dogs. We have Scrappy Doo. He's a pit mix, or he's a pit, but he's the smaller side.
Okay.
He's not very big. He's probably about 55 pounds full grown.
Okay.
Not very big. We have Cookie, which is the Basenji mix. She's roughly 3.5 years old, 35 pounds. She's hilarious. She's very
So these
fun.
are more medium-sized dogs on some of these. They're not the big, other than that.
No.
One that needs the 7-foot fences. These aren't
No.
80, 100-pound animals.
And
we're talking about
then
here.
we have Foster, who's about 1.5 years now, and he's a Corgi mix, maybe Corgi Dachshund.
Okay.
We have Mesa, which is a Doberman cross, small.
Okay.
She's small. She's about 45 pounds.
Okay.
She's about 2.5 years old. She's already spayed. She is a very high energy dog.
Okay.
So if you like to go hiking or like running up and down the riverbed,
Good companion for that.
she's going to be the dog to do it with you because she's got loads of energy.
Good. And I imagine as they get older, they'll settle some of that down. That's what I like. Some of these dogs you're talking about, these 4 and 5 year old dogs, you kind of got the best of both worlds with these because they're young dogs. But if you're kind of not wanting something that's got the rambunctiousness of a puppy, that's kind of
still has some energy
but
to
still,
go
yeah.
get and go with you.
So they're going to be a little bit more mature about those things. Now, obviously, you're going to have to sit down and train with them and work with them to get to your routines and your things, and they'll go along. And sometimes that's a little trickier with older dogs. You always hear they can't teach old dogs new tricks. That's not true.
Yes, you can. I'm married.
Yeah,
I know it.
You can, but sometimes they're a little more stubborn than the young ones. So that's just how it is.
See, that's how I get her to smile. Talk about her dad.
But these make great pets for especially. So maybe if we were talking about single people or things that looking for a companion that are still able to we talk older folks, but if they're able to walk the dog and do all the things that are required of a bigger dog, then these dogs would be great companions for them, or maybe even great family dogs for some folks too.
And one of them, which is Cookie, she would be a great family dog. She loves kids. Like, she sees kids, and it's just like a whole new world to her. She loves them. And she's so sweet. She walks great on a harness. She doesn't pull. She doesn't jerk. She sees
She just
the
wants to be around
harness,
people.
and she's like, okay, it's time to go.
So she gets excited, but at the same time, she's excited just because she gets to socialize and be around people. It's not so much the act of walking; it's the act of being around people and getting love, and and expressing the love and all the stuff that pets do. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And then we still have Clyde, which is our tripod.
Yes.
He did finally get his leg amputated.
Okay.
It is fully healed.
Okay.
He is good for adoption. He's not fond of men.
Okay, so maybe a female, single female, or someone. Well, not a lot of men in the world here, probably, or someone that is very patient. A male that's very patient and can.
He does
win her
okay.
Over.
He just doesn't like men to pick him up.
Gotcha. So
Like,
whatever
they can
happened
pet
to this
him.
dog,
Cat.
I'm sorry. What happened to this cat is probably a male did it, whatever happened.
And you know what's really weird is the gentleman who found him in his litter, when he brought him in, like, he was the only one that could touch him in the beginning because he's the one that found him, took him in, took care of him, brought him to us. But he does not like anybody else. Like, he loves all the females.
Sure.
But when he sees men, like, he's very leery.
So I think he'll like men. Just you gotta
earn it.
You gotta get in his world, and that's cats sometimes. That's just how they are. So I think once you break that bubble, this cat will be fine. It's just you're gonna have to work to get that affection a little bit for men. Gotcha. Makes sense.
But him missing that back leg doesn't slow him down
doesn't hamper any way, shape, or form.
Nope.
Very good. Good deal.
He's,
How old's Tripod here?
He is now 7 months old.
Okay. So
and he's already
is that full grown in 7 months?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Okay.
And I think because of the injuries he had as a very young kitten, I don't think he's going to be very big.
Okay.
He's probably about 8 pounds now.
Okay.
Ish.
Maybe gain a pound or two.
Yeah. He's neutered. He did get a rabies vaccination, his leg amputated. So the only thing he needs to go home is a microchip.
Okay. Which every pet will need when you get adopted.
Yeah.
That's the ordinance in the city now. So, how does that work for people that adopt pets that don't live here? Is that
because they're adopting in our city limits and our ordinances? They have to go by our ordinances for adoption.
Got you. So regardless if you live in the county or live in another city or county, you still will have to get the pet chip.
Now, Artesia, Eddy County, is microchip. They've been a microchip ordinance for
long before we were.
Way before we were. And I believe Carlsbad is the same as well.
Okay.
Ruidoso is starting it now.
Okay.
Portales and Clovis.
Regardless, it's going to be the way of the future if it isn't already. So.
Portales and Clovis, I don't think they're there yet. But I know Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, Santa Fe, they're all microchip required as well. So.
Okay. So it's just to your benefit to get it done. And here's a quick reminder to folks, too. Once you get that pet chipped and everything, don't forget, if you have a change in address or move or anything else, add to your checklist of things you got to do is getting those chips updated. Yep. Otherwise, they do you no good if you've got outdated information in there. That's why I mean, do they, as far as, because I haven't had a pet chipped yet, is there a minimum of what you have to put in there as far as, because can you just get away with a phone number?
So what they do with the microchip is, when you register your microchip, so it's the animal's name, their breed, their age at the time of the microchip, so that way they can continue the age.
Sure.
Their colors, your name,
okay,
your address, your phone number.
Okay. So you have to put the address in.
Yeah.
Okay.
A secondary owner and a secondary phone number.
Okay.
So let's say you and your wife, you have 2 separate phone numbers. But let's say you're at work and you can't be reached.
Sure.
They can call your wife.
Yeah, makes
or
sense.
Or vice versa.
Makes sense.
But a lot of the companies, when we call because we found somebody with a microchip, what they do is they call the owners and give them the person's phone number who found the pet.
Okay.
And
let
send
them
that way.
Let them.
So no addresses given out or any of that.
I was just thinking because usually people change their address more often than their phone number nowadays.
So as long
I got my
as-
same phone number I've had 20 plus years on here.
As long as your phone number is current, if you do change your phone number, that's where you need to update that information.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you move like from Poe Street to Pennsylvania Street, I wouldn't worry about that as long as your
there's a
phone
good
number is the
contact.
same. But if you move out of state or out of city,
that's where it's going to make a difference.
that's where you need to make sure, because you need to location change your dog's county. Because if you're in Chaves County, there's a lot of Chaves County you could be found in. But if you live in Chaves County and you move to Bernalillo, and then somebody picks your dog up in Bernalillo, they're going to be calling down here.
Sure.
Trying to find you here.
Exactly.
So you need to change your address that way.
Sure. That makes sense. But either way, just put that, be in the bonnet, add it to your checklist of things when you move or do something like that.
And
or
a lot,
change your phone number or anything.
There's a few of the vets in town that when you get a microchip, they do that for you. They register it for you.
Okay.
I know
and I think
South
to change
Springs
it's pretty
does
easy,
it.
isn't it? You can go online and change it as needed. So
South Springs automatically registers it, Casa Querencia and Cielo Grande.
Gotcha.
I'm not 100% sure if Country Club and Smith do, but I know at College Garden, like, you register it yourself because they use a different microchip than the other 3.
Okay.
And there's like 5 or 6 different microchip companies out there, so, you know, depending on
everyone's
you
got
want.
their own features and what have you.
Right.
So, makes sense. Very good. But regardless, if you're looking for a pet right now, there's quite a few. Now, if you go online to roswellhumane.org, you can see every single pet that calls the Humane Society home right now. You may see not available over some of the pictures. That does not mean they've been adopted. If they've been adopted, they're no longer on the website.
Right.
What that means is they're in quarantine. Maybe they're not heavy enough. They haven't made weight yet, or they just came new and they're getting their vaccinations and things, and you know, parvo and all the various things that are bad to animals here. They're making sure that all that's good to go before they make them available to the public to take home and adopt. So if you fall in love, you're like, oh, look at that dog, that's the one I've been wanting, and it's not available. Call and ask and say, hey, what's the deal with Scruffy here? What's going on? Oh, Scruffy's about a pound under, probably be available in a week, or Scruffy's waiting to get X shot first, or we just got her in, but we can't put her in general public for another couple days until we know she's clear of anything contagious. That's what's going on there. But that actually is a clue for you guys. So if you're calling, now don't harass. Don't call every 2 minutes. Hey, how's the dog doing? How's the dog doing? But
we have caller ID. We will not answer. No, I'm kidding.
But if you're like, hey, I want Scruffy here, you know, when's Scruffy available? And can I meet Scruffy yet? And it's like, not yet, but give us, you know, but you calling and showing interest, that's a good sign, because those are the people that we want adopting pets, people that are going to treat these pets like it's part of their family. And so that is a great indicator. Now, you can get pre-registered. Like if you're like, hey, I want to adopt a dog, you want to check me out, make sure I'm good to go, they can get all that done. And then the moment that the dog is coming out on quarantine, then he can go right to the vet to get spayed, neutered, chipped, whatever it does, and part of your home the next day or 2 after that. So
yeah, depending on the vet for their schedules,
it depends and depends on the dog and what's going on there too. So, but you can get the pre-work done there, because anytime you adopt a dog from the Humane Society, there are requirements. You got to have a fenced-in yard that's got to be in an environment that's safe and okay for that dog. These dogs are not meant to be put out in your backyard and left alone for their own devices. That's not why they're adopting them. Cats,
strictly indoors.
Yeah, strictly indoor cats, no outdoor cats. But say you can't adopt a dog because you live in an apartment or you live in a yard that doesn't have a fence or something like that. Well, cats will be adopted there, no problem. And obviously little dogs, you know, if there's a fenced-in area that's not the full yard but good enough for that little dog, that works. And obviously, you know, so if you've got 8 foot of fenced-in area, you're not adopting a Doberman. But if you want a Chihuahua, maybe we can talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, depending on the breed you're looking at, depends on the requirements.
Yeah.
So, you know, each breed has its own requirements, you know, height, size, climbable, non-climbable. You know, we learn a lot about them while they're there. So
it's true.
We want to make sure that they're not escaping their new home.
Absolutely. Exactly. You want the experience to adopt the best possible one for the family. So you want to make sure that those steps are in place. So A, nothing bad happens to the pet, but B, your family's also protected and getting, you know, a good experience as a pet owner too. So it's a win-win for everybody, including, but at the end of the day, the Humane Society's priority are those pets, and they're not going to adopt them to people that they don't think will be good owners of pets. And that's what, you know, that's that now. And now I also want to throw this note out because we're running short on time. If you do not see a pet that for whatever reason doesn't strike you fancy or you don't connect with at the Humane Society, walk right next door to the animal control. You're rescuing a pet. Doesn't matter if it comes out of which building. You're rescuing a pet either way. And so walk into the now. And I'll tell you this: the restrictions over at Animal Control aren't the same as the Humane Society. They're a little more looser on rules for adopting. You're still going to have to get spayed and chipped and all that, but fencing and stuff, they're not as strict on that. So if you think you can be a good steward on that, that's a conversation between you and Animal Control. But please look over there and adopt those pets, because what happens if you adopt from the Humane Society and you free up a kennel over there, if there's any pets, which is not often, but if there's pets on the short list over next door, they'll get those out of there and into places that are no kill shelters. But also know, and I want to make this known because I know there's a lot of people that talk and spread things and talk on Facebook. Animal control is not in the killing animal business either. They do everything in their power to try to rescue those pets too. So they're pet lovers that work there, just like there's pet lovers that work next door at the Humane Society.
They have a job the same reason we have a job.
Exactly.
Irresponsible owners.
Mm-hmm.
So when you don't go looking for your dog and you don't keep your dog or cat confined in your area, that's why we have jobs, is because there's people who don't care. They're irresponsible.
Absolutely.
If all the world was responsible, there wouldn't be shelters.
You'd be out of a job. Yeah, you'd be out of a job. And
I'd be looking for a new career. Mike?
That's right. We get you gig in radio. But, folks, please, go to roswellhumane.org this morning. Come on by. Don't forget, if you want to go to the shelter or go to the thrift store, one more time this year. Today's the last day to do it. Otherwise, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yep.
Good deal. Is there anything we missed?
Oh, we're back to hiring again.
Oh, good. So need kennel, and it's what whatever minimum wage is now.
Well, minimum wage changes as of Saturday.
What's it go up to now?
I think it's $11.50 or $11.55.
Okay.
One of the two.
So you'll be making more than me soon. So if you're inquiring about that, loved around pets, and don't mind getting dirty, because it's a job where you're going to be cleaning up after pets and tending to their needs. It's a loving, great job, but you're going to deal with poo and puke. That's just the nature of the beast.
What goes in must come out.
It's like goes somewhere.
Yeah.
You got to clean
Just like
that
us.
up. Yep. Very good.
But yes, so if you are interested, please bring a resume or a cover letter, pick up an application, and leave it at the kennel.
Absolutely. And just come be a part of the Humane Society here. I'd love to have you. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Welcome to the show. I know you didn't want to be here, but and come adopt this. Come adopt Sadie. Sadie, right? I get it right. Sadie. She is a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. She's been quiet as a church mouse this whole time, just sitting there comfortably chilling in her lap there, just being a great dog. If you're looking for a good lap dog here, I think you might have just found it right there.
She is here to show the expert of cuddles.
Yes, cuddle expert. Very good. Well, thank you, guys. We'll see you here in a couple weeks. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. It is 9:56. Let's do a quick news update here and quick break before we go.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The New Mexico Department of Health announced Wednesday it plans to adopt new federal guidance surrounding isolation and quarantine for COVID-19. The state is currently updating its contact tracing protocols and other key processes and will announce a more specific implementation timeline very soon. However, the new guidelines involve shortening the quarantine time to 5 days for people who have been exposed to COVID, but those people are also strongly urged to wear a face mask in public at all times for an additional 5 days after their quarantine. The Roswell Police Department is thanking Church on the Move for its recent donation to RPD. The donation was in the amount of $5,000. In a prepared statement, RPD says it very much appreciates the support and generosity of Church on the Move for the $5,000 donation. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
This is Tim Jennings, your former state senator. I'd like to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and tell you why I've decided to run for mayor of Roswell. I believe Roswell can and should be doing a lot better. But right now, we just don't have the leadership for our city's needs. Rather than the current mayor's $35 million voter-rejected boondoggle to build a public safety complex, I'll get back to the basics and fighting crime by putting more cops on our streets. I'll cut the fees the city has raised on everything from the adult center to the zoo, even at the Veterans Cemetery. As your mayor, I'll bring jobs to our city and make sure that road and infrastructure projects are completed quickly. Again, this is Tim Jennings running for mayor of Roswell. I hope you and your family have a blessed Christmas season. I humbly ask for your vote for mayor of Roswell this coming March 1st. Paid for by Tim Jennings for mayor.
The most wonderful sale of the century is on now at Roswell Nissan. Prices slashed across the lot, 0 down and no payments for 90 days. Get a 2017 Sentra for just $219 a month, a 2013 Civic for just $199 a month, or a 2011 Hyundai Tucson for just $169 a month. And play Lucky Lotto to win cash and prizes. Just watch your mailbox and bring in your mailer for the chance to win up to $25,000 cash. The most wonderful sale of the century on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Ketchup was used as a medicine back in the 1930s. Mike uses ketchup to make friends. He doesn't have a lot of friends. Here's Mike Winters. Clyde